What's up, guys? Young Bucks, Old Goats, episode 80. Cheers. I got my boy Tank the Plank tonight, and Hialeah Comic Bro is in the house. What's up, big guys? What's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on, man?
How's everybody doing?
Peachy King. That's dope.
Isn't that
Dopest
cool?
dope I've ever smoked.
It opens its mouth when it talks?
No.
Oh.
Is it Young Bucks, Old Goats?
That's actually like a stag.
Oh
buck-
my god!
A buck is... What's the difference between a buck and a stag?
I'll look it up.
Actually, so a buck is it's a male deer,
It's
right?
a young one, right? Just getting its antlers.
A stag is a male red deer in the British usage.
See, I just told you that's a stag.
A buck, on the other hand, is a male roe deer.
Roe?
R-O-E, yeah.
I see. I heard everything you said. I just don't get the difference.
Okay, sorry, man.
The less you know.
No apologies. I think they're both male deer, right?
Yeah.
Actually, even goats are called bucks, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Like the male goat.
A buck?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Anyways, enough with the animals. So tonight, just to sort of set the table there, we're just gonna hang out for a little bit. Might have some people joining us later. Might have a guest. Should have a guest later. When our guest is on, we'll probably get into a little bit of the alien stuff. There was a UFO sighting by some pilots in Arizona a few days ago, and this guy has a page dedicated to UFO info and videos, so we'll chat with him a little bit. David from UFOs Daily, UFOs.daily. And man, I gotta say, last week was a super fun interview we had with Ben from Central Utah Paranormal. Shout out to Ben.
Ben was great.
Favorite guest of all time, hands down. I have to say, no disrespect to our other guests.
He was even better than Gio.
Well, nobody's better than Gio, but
you just said that he was.
I would say Gio is more like an honorary old buck, young goat
Oh, yeah.
kind of guy.
He's a young buck.
Not really, dude.
No, not really.
Nah.
He seems like he is.
He's trying to stay in that young buck mode, but he's
still
not
trying to be hip.
Okay, you're not
I
hip.
already told you, dude.
You're not-
If you're using hip, and then you're not hip, dude. All right? That's how it works, I think. Yeah. I mean, I think he's like 38, not to throw him out there. But
Plus, all those years in the military.
That's pretty specific. Not, he's like 38. Is he 38 or is he not 38? Because he's in his late 30s is what you say. He's 38.
No, I
No,
don't
whatever.
I don't say late or early. I throw a number.
whatever, dude. We're not women, dude.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to clarify.
Anyways, shout out to our boy Gio. Gio's got to redo your logo, dude. All right, dude. Can I make that recommendation?
Yeah.
All right.
GNP Arrow is his
GMP
Instagram.
Arrow. Yeah. T-shirts. Oh, you didn't get your shirts. I have shirts for you. I sent you a shirt, Ben. If you're watching from Central Utah Paranormal, sent you a shirt, man. So what's going on, fellas? We got a little bit of time to hang before we get our first guest on here.
I have a little funny story.
Rob, we got Rob in the chat, my boy Berto.
What's up, Berto?
Yeah, you're definitely a buck. You're like a calf, bro.
Yeah, you're probably like what do you call that?
What is he? 11?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to think of the name of the small horse. You're like a big pony, dude.
Like a pinto,
A
Yeah.
veal.
Yeah. But we're not gonna eat him, so
Oh,
veal. You said
Yeah.
veal. He's
yes.
like a veal.
like
I
a
didn't know.
calf.
There's not a horse called a veal or a cow called a
Oh
veal.
my god, bro, dude, what? Oh my.
Veal's a meat. You know
You're getting like too literal, dude.
Yes, bro.
We're
Sorry,
we're just kind of having fun, Talk. You don't have to get so like. Ugh. Anyways, what you got, Haley?
Fucking stick, bro, to every joke.
What's on your docket? What do you got?
Dude, so this happened to me the other day. It was just a stupid little thing. But I went to go deposit a check, right, at my bank. So I signed the check at home before I went, put the account number, and then I went and
Did you sign it, Hialeah Comic Bro?
no.
Oh, okay.
I usually just sign it stud or dude.
And they're like, "Where's the stud?" I thought
No.
can't cash it for you, bro.
They know right away. Anyway,
Alright.
so I'm waiting in line, right? And there's two tellers, and this one teller, bro, she's just so one of these perky, people, and just having the longest conversation with the person. I'm like, dude, I was in no rush, but I gotta go do stuff. Just
But in no rush.
There's like a fine line between taking care of business and being friendly, and like you're
yes.
talking too much.
Yeah, and it was just taking too long. Anyway, so I get up to the thing, right? And I give her the check, and she's like, putting in the info and all this, and she looks at me, and of course I got my mask, and she goes, "Did you sign this in pencil?" And I go, "No." And then she starts looking at it, and I go, "You sure you didn't sign this in pencil?" And I was like, "No." Dude, and then she starts erasing it. And I'm like, oh shit. When she asked me twice, and I go, dude, maybe I did, but I was like, fuck that shit. I'm going to deny. Hell no, I didn't sign it in pencil, right?
What are you, 5 years old, signing things in pencil, bro?
I'll tell you what happened. So, dude, she never says anything again. She just totally erases it. I mean, totally erases it, gives me a pen. I sign it again, doesn't say another word. And then, she starts doing it. And then I go to give her the pen. No, you could keep it. I think you need one. And I go,
bro, she's awesome, dude.
And then I was like, no, it's okay. A lot of people need pens. No. So whatever. So what happened was
Was she good looking?
No.
Okay. That would have made it worse.
So what happened is the pen I use is one of those pens that looks like a pencils that looks like a pen. So I thought it was a pen. But the thing that got me was, dude, I got cold busted and I still denied. She was even erasing it in front of me.
That sounds like a commercial, like, no, and then she erases it and then like, want to get away? Snickers, want to get away?
Yeah, that's how I felt. Like I was just crying, laughing. There was no way I was going to admit it, but she pretty much busted me anyway.
I guess the mask helps.
With I was smiling. I was just smiling. I was going, fuck that shit. I'm gonna say no. Anyway, I don't know. I thought it was funny.
That's hilarious. Are you sure you didn't sign this in pencil?
It's hilarious.
No. Is that what I said? Hilarious?
No.
You guys didn't have anything interesting happen to you guys this week?
Anything interesting like that? Like confusing a pencil for a pen? Let me think.
Or getting or just denying till the ends of the earth to a teller at the, and I was cold busted and I still fucking denied it. Fuck it.
I'm not a fucking liar, dude. So
Sounds like every time I get caught. So
deny, right?
Yeah,
hey, let me tell you what I'm drinking today. I'm kind of excited about it. So sorry, I'm gonna geek out about it for a little bit. So I've had this one before.
You said Woodford's Reserve.
No, I did have some Woodford Reserve, and I was disappointed this week with it. But this one's called Jefferson's. It's a cool bottle because you could kind of see the dude in the background. I don't know if you see him on the other side of the bottle.
Yeah.
You can get a better look here. This is the regular one. And that's pretty good. Nothing. It's not bad. And then I went to Walmart and I found this one. I wasn't planning on buying it. It's aged at sea. So what they do with this bourbon
What
is
do they
they
do? They just like float the barrels out in the ocean for years or something? Kind of like a barrel farm, like a whiskey farm, Scotch farm, and they just have them like bouncing in the water, kind of like salmon, like tilapia.
bro, I was telling the story. Make a note with your pencil next
What is
time
this guy talking about, bro?
and don't interrupt me again. And then when I finish my story, you can say that. No, I'm just kidding. They put them on boats, bro.
And what do the boats do? They just go around the oceans aimlessly until they're old enough to be drank.
Well, I assume they put them on commercial boats that are going to be. If you don't mind, I'll read a little because they all have their little ticket and it says what voyage they came from. So this is voyage 11, and they give you like a little ship's log, and it kind of tells you like where it went and all the times. So this one departed Savannah at the end of July. What a difference a month can make sailing south to the Jesus Christ, Panama Canal and out into the south I can't read. South Pacific. The seas were slight and the weather clear all the way to Tahiti, New Zealand, around Australia and to Fremantle, passing through the South Australian basin. The seas rose to moderate a couple of days and then settled back to calm. It goes on and on. It just tells you kind of everywhere it went. It passed the equator three, 4 times. Anyways, I thought it was kind of cool, the story of
Do you believe that story, or you think it's just generic?
I absolutely believe the story.
You
Bourbon.
would. You would.
So you think that they're lying?
I don't know. It just seems kind of like very poetic. Like, oh, the seas rose, and then we went through Tahiti, and then we went here. That fucking whiskey's been probably nicer places than you have.
He has more sky miles than you.
It has
Definitely.
more. Okay, if that one's ocean, what's the other one? Land, and it tells you exactly where it's been on Earth. You know how many continents it's been on.
No, the other one. This is
There's no
just
story.
obviously.
There's
This
no
is just.
story.
There is a story on it. There's a little paper.
Read the story. Read the story for this one.
Ridiculously small batch bourbons are produced by skillfully marrying a selection of barrels of various ages. It achieves the precision of a single barrel bottling while ensuring the complexity and consistency expected by fine bourbon aficionados. We invite you to experience the unique flavor of each Jefferson's brand. Jefferson's Reserve, Jefferson's Ocean Aged at Sea, Jefferson's Pritchard Hill, Cabernet, blah, blah, blah. It tells you all the other ones, but, it doesn't tell you. It's been aged in barrels with a very light char, allowing a myriad of secondary flavors to express themselves. The result is approachable, smooth bourbon. Okay. Do you think they're lying that they put it on a boat, or you think they're just embellishing the story?
It sounds very. It's almost like a former Hallmark card writer wrote that ocean one.
Do you think they're lying about it being out in the sea, or do you think they're just embellishing in that
I
little
think
paper?
I'm not gonna say they're lying about it being out in the sea, but I don't think they're fucking taking the whiskey on cruises.
No, they're probably freight boats and stuff that they rent a container and they put them in there.
Yeah, but the seas were nice and brisk
It's
and
called marketing, dude.
okay. But so are they telling the truth in their marketing?
I assume every ship has a captain's log like the USS Enterprise does, and they probably got some information off that for the marketing. Why are you giving me a hard time, bro?
I don't know. I'm in the mood.
Listen, I'm going to recommend to anybody that likes bourbon.
0%. It went to
zero.
fucking
Wait.
Tahiti.
Hey, I gotta tell you guys, I've been instructed to say I can't say 0% anymore. It's got to be max minimum 1%.
Do you really want to get into this right now?
No.
Okay. Anyways, I was gonna recommend a movie. It's called Neat, and it's like a documentary about bourbon and the history and how they make it. It's pretty cool. Maybe I already recommended it before. If I did, sorry. I was probably ripped.
Randy, any idea why they send it to sea? Does the like motion have something to do with like the
Exactly. That's part of the thing. So it has a different. So like the way that they make bourbons, sometimes it's like if they're in a certain part of the warehouse, or if they're close to a window, or if they're in low, that all changes the flavor and everything about it. So this one has a lot of motion, and there's even like a little saltiness to it. It's been out at sea, and they all have different. They all taste different. I mean, I've only tasted this one, but from what I've heard from other people, the different voyages have a different taste to them.
Like if they go into the Indian Ocean, would it taste different?
Might be like a little bit spicier, that one.
Antarctica, the Arctic Ocean, a little colder.
Yeah, there might be some deep freeze type of thing. I don't fucking know, dude. But probably they're all going to be different because they all experienced something different.
Was that an expensive bottle?
It is an expensive bottle, actually. So this one is probably like the regular one that I talked about is probably like 30, $35. This one is usually like $90, and they had it for like 70 at Walmart. That's why I had to pick it up, because I always see it and I'm like, that's interesting. Maybe I want to try that. And then I'm always like, yeah, $90. I don't know if I want to try it that bad. So I picked it up at that Walmart down south. They have a liquor store, pretty nice liquor store. I don't know if you ever been in their tank.
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah. They had it there for $70.
They usually have sales.
Are they the same size bottles?
Yes, they're $7.50, and it's 45%, 90 proof. And while I'm talking about that, my boy Danny, he works that store. He got me this, dude. I love this thing, dude. It's a full size helmet replica Smirnoff.
That is the brand that made me an alcoholic today.
Smirnoff.
Yeah.
The vodka?
Shout out to Danny.
No, the ice, the like flavored fucking wine cooler shits.
Yeah.
Smirnoff Ice. John Bolas. Yeah, man. Of course you can get a swing, dude. I'll send you a sample, bro. I'm all about sharing. That's what bourbon's about.
Is it worth the 90? You think?
Hey, do the smell test. How does it smell?
Or should I get a Macallan?
I think you've already tried Macallan, and this is a nice bourbon, but I think you're more into whiskey than bourbon.
I'm more of a Scotch guy, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still with my
Glenfiddich
12, yep.
It smells like something that's been out at sea. I smell like
How convenient.
saltiness.
If you put your ear to it, can you hear the ocean?
No, I can hear you fucking mocking me.
Sounds about right.
This shit's fucking good. So that's the schedule. I don't know if I finished saying the schedule. And then we're going to talk a little bit about cancel culture. And some of the things going on with that. So, Tank, you got any funny stories? Did you sign any checks in pencil and lie about it or anything like that?
No. I colored in one of my tattoos. That's about it.
Let's see. Let me. So you already had like the outline of this dude?
Yeah, it was like this one.
Of Killer Instinct Goku?
Ultra Instinct.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Who the fuck is?
Isn't that Super Saiyan?
Yeah.
Vegeta?
Yeah, Vegeta. Shout out my boy Lou.
Who is Killer Instinct?
That's a movie, I think, no?
Okay. I'm confusing my shit. Darian says that's fire, dude.
That's my boy. I love that guy.
Is it Darian? Okay, yeah.
You haven't finished it, though. You still need to do the top one, right?
Right, I gotta go back 2 more times to finish the top one and to do the background.
Hi, Elia. Okay. I have a quote. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
No, I was gonna say Killer Instinct is a game.
Yeah, it is. We had some merch on that. From the sponsor of the show, Man of Action Figures, we got some of the stuff back there. Not much. I got a big A-Team car. Maybe I'll show some of it later. And I got an alien there. I'll show it.
Isn't it a van?
What did I say it was?
A car?
Yeah, it's a van. It's a Bandura. You know, we didn't want to get into the 0% thing. I just have a quote for you. I put it on my Instagram. When I saw this quote, I instantly thought about you. And I think, maybe you should listen to it. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
A mind should not be so open that the brains fall out. However, it should not be so closed that whatever gray matter which does reside may not be reached. And I like that quote, and that's from somebody I like. Art Bell put that quote out. Rest in peace. What do you think about that, Hialeah?
I agree. You can't be too open, but I'm not. I'm not closed-minded. Just on the topics that we've been talking about, but I'm very open-minded.
Okay, real quick. Ghost.
0.
Aliens.
0.
9/11 was an inside job.
But look what you're asking me. Those are just a few things. That's like today, like
Pens versus pencils. Is that what
that's not being closed-minded. I'm very open-minded.
If you are very open-minded, I don't want to see what's a closed-minded person is.
Open-minded. I'm just not a believer in certain things. That's all it is. It doesn't mean I'm closed-minded.
You know what, dude? Let me bring somebody who does have an open mind. And again, he's not coming straight out of Compton. He's coming straight out of his closet.
Yeah!
90. What's up, dog?
For all the 90
Yeah!
in the chat, YouTube is 90. What's going on? We
What's
all know
up,
what,
young buck?
bro. You know what Raul's open-minded to. We'll just leave him to be open-minded to those things. So,
You know I'm open-minded. You know from
bro,
you know
I
am.
Bro, I don't know how you're open-minded if you're gonna put 0% on both those things. If you
I
even put,
don't believe in them. It doesn't mean I'm not open-minded. I think I'm a very open-minded.
did you watch that Joe Rogan show that I posted up in our chat?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, so because there's no way you would watch that and not be open-minded of even like 2%. Like even if it was only slight, like you should watch that because.
Like I said, I don't know if you caught this, but I've been instructed that I cannot be 0%. I gotta be at least 1%.
You can say whatever you want.
But you just said 0% on 2 questions he asked you, so you already failed. You already failed at doing that.
I forgot what I was instructed to do.
And if you would have said that, he would have been like, you know what, bro? You caught me off guard. You are open-minded. You said 1%, but you just didn't even. I guess depending on what the topic may be, you're open-minded, but you can't say you're open-minded and have 0% on those things. I think
no, it's just two freaking a few topics that we're talking about.
True. I mean, the ghost. All right, I'll give you that one.
And
if you want to do that,
and they're very contested points.
Simulation theory.
0%.
Magic bullet.
I think I've made my case, dude.
Magic bullet.
He likes that one. He likes that.
There was a magic bullet.
Yeah.
0%.
Oh. Okay.
All right.
There was one shooter.
0%.
This is obviously like a gag, a running gag he has that he has to keep going.
It's not that I'm giving you honest answers. I don't believe in the magic bullet.
What do you believe in, bro?
I believe in love.
Okay, good.
That's what he's open-minded to, my friends. That's what I was trying to indicate to. Like y'all didn't catch me, but he's a little open-minded to who he shares
I thought about
love
that,
with.
but I didn't want to throw anybody.
I don't know if it's the mind that's open.
There might be something else open. You might be right, Pete. I think you're right, Tank.
What do you mean?
I am at 0% on that one. Might be the only one I'm at 0% on. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No,
Oh.
I'm with you there.
We might get canceled.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that later, man. There's a lot going on.
I wonder if I'm going to be the bad guy in that conversation.
I don't know, dude. You'll find a way.
I'll do my best. Somebody's got to be. You whippersnappers aren't gonna do it. Somebody's got to do it.
Hey, would you consider Chad a young buck?
Yeah, he's right on the cusp.
He's like
he's like Gio.
yeah. If
No,
you were
no,
if you were on Menudo, it'd be like the last tour, and they're like, "Oh, he's got to get out."
I'd
He's
be
almost-
too old. I'd be too
Yeah,
old.
yeah. He's
Yeah.
got to leave the.
Great.
he
When
can't-
Ricky was too old, they're like, "Nah, bro, this guy's
Yeah.
gotta go."
Yeah, yeah. You're like on
Go
your
with-
last.
he's doing the last tour. He's doing the
Your
last.
last tour of young buckhoodness, and pretty soon you'll be like a young goat.
Okay. All
But you're
right.
still there. You might have like one more season. This might be your last season as a young
Okay.
buck.
I'll take it. You know what, guys? Cheers to that.
Hell yeah! Cheers.
How convenient.
Absolutely. All
What you
right.
drinking?
It was on sale, so I picked it up.
Red
I won't do
Stripe.
You know.
How does that commercial go?
Red
Hooray!
Stripe.
Beer.
Hooray beer. Red
Buffalo Soldier.
Dreadlock Rasta.
Yeah, but you gotta like listen to the real Bob songs, like Zimbabwe.
And
You know.
I shot the sheriff.
Yeah, those are like all the ones everyone knows. Pimpers,
We are the world.
yo, go check out Pimper's Paradise, Tank. You'll thank me later. It's a song called
God.
Pimper's Paradise.
Do I have to be high?
Nah, definitely not. I mean, I feel like that's like a cliche with Bob, because his music, listen to the lyrics, like honestly, they're really about like uniting people. And like if you go listen to the entire Africa album, it's all about like unity and like uniting Africa and everything like that. Like he's all about peace and love, and yeah, he did that, but that was actually part of his religion, and that's why he partaked in it, I guess you could say.
And you always hear it like right when you get on a cruise and you get your first drink out on the pool deck. There's
Yeah.
always Bob is jamming.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
You know it's good music when it kind of puts you in a mood or can change your
Oh,
mood.
yeah. Definitely, man. I'm with you there.
Guys, we have a guest with us, David from I was telling you about him earlier, from UFOs Daily. That's his IG handle, and that's a page he runs at least, and that's dedicated. I'll show it once we have him on. Let's bring him on.
Hey,
David.
guys, what's going on?
Yo,
How you doing, man?
David.
What's going on,
Cheers,
man?
cheers.
I wish I knew you guys were having a drink. I would have poured myself a cup.
Hey,
That's my bad. I didn't.
yeah. Well, if you ever got to get up for any reason, do what you got to do. We won't take
Yeah.
it personal. We understand.
You know what's funny? My company, or the company I work for, they just sent us a bottle of champagne.
Nice.
And an annual sales kickoff. And
Hell
they just
yeah.
sent it out, you know. Everything's virtual now, so they're trying to do these little things to keep everybody engaged, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Any company that gives you free booze, that's pretty cool, dude.
Yeah.
You got to check mark in my book.
My sister, Vivian, she's not a teetotaler, but she's doesn't really drink that much, and she is in charge in her company for buying all the liquor for all the parties and all the, which is just kind of curious that she's the person. I guess they picked somebody that wouldn't be dipping into the reserves.
That makes sense. I mean, normally it's a week in Vegas, right? And it's an awesome time. They pay for the flight, the room, everyone gets together. There's a good amount of like sessions and learning and stuff like that. But afterwards, it's happy hour here, happy hour there. You know, we had to settle for a bottle of champagne this year because everything going on. But not too.
I used to work for a company, and our conventions were in Vegas, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
There you go.
So, I didn't sleep. I would literally like just be out all night with my homie, and then we would just wake up, go to the meetings, and just take turns sleeping and like watch each other's backs. So
I could see
good
Chad
time.
in that movie. What's that movie where they get?
The Hangover.
Yeah. Definitely could see you as one of those characters.
Having a good time. I'm all about it. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, my 50th birthday. I've never been to Vegas, but I'm doing it.
Hell yeah.
You got to. You have a phenomenal time. Just anything to do, anything you can think of. You know, women, partying, gambling. You know, if you gamble at all, but
It's
Could be a problem.
it's
I have
Disney
a-
World for adults. It
I have a
literally
friend
is.
that went recently during COVID, and he said even like with all the restrictions and shit, it was an awesome time. Dude.
Oh
He
yeah,
said he probably slept 5 hours in 3 days.
that's it. Sounds about. That's how you're in Vegas. That's how you know you're in Vegas, baby.
you can't do more than like 2 or 3 days. And people go for like a week.
Oh yeah, it's too much.
You might not survive that.
No, you'll be broke.
By day 4, your liver's like asking for forgiveness, saying, "Take me home." You know,
4 days is the max I've been there, and I was like, I gotta go.
give
Hi,
that.
Aaliyah, you're coming for my 50th birthday in Vegas.
Sure, I haven't been there in a while.
Have you ever been there?
Yeah, I've been there.
All right, so we're gonna go. I mean, it's not gonna be football season time, but we could pass by the stadium at least. He is a Las Vegas Raiders fan.
The hottest woman I've ever seen was at the pool at the Venetian. Oh my god,
Okay, the Venetian pool is nice too.
bro! It was freaking off point, dude.
But
I
what?
think I told the story.
When were you there though? Let me ask, how old were you when you saw her?
It's been like 10 years,
Okay, because I would say like things probably changed when I was there.
dude. She was hot as shit.
Yeah.
It was just crazy.
It's crazy now though because you see the fucking smoke, and she could be 16 or she could be 26, and you have no idea.
No,
It's dangerous now, dude.
this was a woman. She was a woman.
I'm not talking about gender. I'm just saying.
No, I mean she was a grown ass woman. She was no.
He must have been listening before how, his open mindedness is.
No, I wasn't, but hey, man, I don't judge. I got a buddy of mine. His dad is super into trannies for whatever reason.
What?
No, we bust his chops all the
I'm
time.
sorry, he's into what?
Trannies.
Oh, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Whatever, man. Whatever floats his boat.
I mean, me and my boy.
I'm at 0% on that one, but
0%.
You're so close minded.
it's just some topics that have come up, Hailey. Just the ones that you're mentioning.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it either, man. I couldn't. Speaking of
I
which,
mean,
I mentioned this to my friend the other day. I don't know if you guys remember, but I think it was maybe a year ago or so. It's like a big scandal. Dwight Howard was mixed up with a tranny somehow.
Oh
Right.
no, I never heard that.
And
I
then
think
all
I
of a
did.
sudden, the story
Yeah.
like vanished. Never heard about it again. The guy's playing for the Lakers, and it's like it never happened. Wow, you know.
I remember when they won the championship, something else came out about him. I guess he was dating at that time a WNBA player, and he was partying with his team, and like the while he was live streaming, like the text messages that she sent him came up or something. But I remember that you sent me that, Tank. Remember?
yeah.
Well, you see, then that was red flag number one. The guy's dating a WNBA player. May as well be dating a tranny. You know, they're not that far off, to be honest.
Yeah. What is the WNBA, anyways? Anybody ever seen that?
The open mindedness on that
I
one.
do. I have watched it, dude. I've
You
watched
look like the type of
Oh,
guy that would
yeah,
watch
yeah.
the WNBA.
dude.
Who's the leading scorer in the WNBA?
I don't know who the leading scorer. I like Tarasi.
Sparks.
I like Tarasi, and
She hasn't played like in 10 years, probably.
oh shit, dude, she's fucking great. She's still good.
She's still playing?
She's still playing, dude.
Oh my God! Can we fact check him, Tank?
She might have retired.
No,
She's the Vince Carter of the WNBA.
She plays in the WNBA, and then she plays overseas when they're off season because they make more money in Europe and stuff.
Jeez,
How old is she?
How do you spell her name?
Tarasi.
He doesn't even
Thanks
know
for
her
spelling
first
that
name.
out, bro.
What's her first name?
Yeah, I got it.
Tina
He spelled it
Taurasi.
good.
Is it?
No, that's how much
Yeah.
he knows them. He doesn't even know the first
She's
name.
like she's older. She's like probably like 36, 37 now.
She's got to be 40, bro.
Probably she's on the cusp.
She's 38.
Told you.
Yeah, she's still playing, dude, since 04.
Yeah.
All right, my
Maya-
bad.
Maya Moore.
She
No.
played.
Know your WNBA.
She's the point guard, and the other one, Griner, the 7-footer that dunks.
Okay, but
They're on the
what-
same team.
what team is it?
I don't think it's the Sparks. Phoenix. Is it Phoenix? I think it might
Mercury,
be
yeah.
the Phoenix Mercury. Yeah.
Can we
Okay.
move on from the WNBA?
All right.
You want to talk some USFL?
I
know some
rather
USFL.
talk USFL than WNBA.
Okay.
Actually, what I want to talk about is we have a guest here. Let me see if I can. So, how did you get into the UFOs and things like that, David?
It's kind of crazy, man. It's something I was always, I think, sort of interested in. I think when I was like 9 years old, I saw something. It wasn't anything crazy, right? Me and my dad were, I think, walking back from like a corner store or something like that. It was probably 8 p.m. And I saw something in the sky that it kind of looked like a star because it was just like a little orb looking thing, but it was going side to side. And no star, no airplane does that. I'm like, Dad, what the fuck is that? Like, do you see it? He's like, oh, no, I can't. I'm like, right there. And then he saw it. Then it started to go kind of diagonally, and it sort of made a Z. And we were just like, what in the fucking world? Then it just stopped, and it took off in a second. And, being 8, 9 years old, it was the craziest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. So ever since, I was super into science always and stuff like that. And there's just no way, right? There's no way that we're alone here. And I've always kind of just had that thought in the back of my mind. And I got a buddy of mine who's a fucking rock star at Instagram. He has like 5 different accounts, all over 1 million followers, not UFO related. Calorie Hub is one. Art Daily is another. So they're all related accounts. So I learned a lot about growing Instagram accounts kind of from him, right? And I figured, let me run an account doing this. Maybe eventually I'll get it high enough. I'll open up a little website, sell T-shirts and hoodies out of it, make a couple bucks, right? But it's something I'm interested in, so I could spend the time sort of doing it. So just started it I think middle of January or so, and it's been going pretty well. You had it up. It's
like last month.
Yeah.
Oh wow, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had it up here. You got like over 2,000 already.
We're at close to 2,500, I think. Yeah, just 301.
Nice.
David, where are you based out of?
So I'm in New Jersey, about 20 minutes out from New York City.
Nice.
Okay.
I got family in Hoboken.
Oh, it's a beautiful place, man.
Let me ask you about your experience. Were you in New Jersey when you witnessed that with your father?
Yeah. So actually, we're from Ecuador. We came to America when I was about 7. So this was probably 2 years into us being in the States, here in Kearney, New Jersey. So
was it nighttime?
It was nighttime. It was like 8, 9 p.m. Sort of around the fall time. So it was pitch black by then. But I don't know. In Jersey, everything's kind of lit up. So when there's something in the sky, you could see it.
Was there other people around too?
Nah, nobody. We were just crossing. It's sort of like a church that's in the middle of where the corner store used to be in our house, like a little deli. So we were cutting back through it just to get back home, and that's when we saw it. That's when I was like, "Holy shit!"
And what did your dad? Do you remember what your dad said about it?
He was just like, "Wow," but then that was it. There was no conversation afterwards. It was like I think he was maybe a little scared. You know what I mean? And I think he was more watching my reaction to see if I was going to be scared and maybe freak out about it. But it was just fascinating to me. I became convinced that day, like, there's no way we're alone here.
What percentage would you say you are that you're convinced? 100%?
100%. There's mathematicians that run like statistical models, right? With all the different galaxies, all the planets that we know are inhabitable. I think it's called the Drake equation, actually. Some guy developed an equation.
I just want to apologize real quick. I don't mean to laugh at you. I just laughed at Hialeah cutting his camera off as you asked that question. I don't know if the timing was like
I had to blow my nose.
I guess just full disclosure, we have one skeptic on the panel here.
Yeah, this guy above me right here. He's Mr. 0%. Yeah. So
that's good, man. That's actually a good.
We have him to meet the quota.
Yeah, we need to have it legally. It's part of the podcast laws. We have to have one skeptic, but
let me ask him. What's? I guess give me your pitch, right? Give me your reason why you think there isn't anything out there.
I like this guy. Go ahead.
Why am I getting put on the scene?
You're the skeptic.
I don't believe it.
We're just sharing, bro. We're sharing.
Yeah. I don't believe it. I'm not what I say every week, and I believe there's life out there. I just don't think it's come here.
You don't think so? This is one thing that's like blown me away, right? Genetically, what's the closest thing to us, and from an intelligence perspective?
Like a dolphin.
Yeah,
Monkeys?
dolphins or apes.
Apes, more
Yeah.
most. Yeah.
Right? Genetically, the difference between us and them, it's like 1%,
Yeah, it's nothing.
right?
It's like, I think it's our thumbs, right?
They have,
No,
like,
I mean in their makeup. It's just like one chromosome or some shit.
and what's the smartest thing they could do? Like sign language, right? Maybe like spell their name or something, or ask for a banana, right?
Well,
Apes?
in the wild, there's orangutans that use tools.
Yeah. Some of them even use tools, right? But what's the smartest thing you could do? You fucking fly rocket ships, calculus 3, calculus 4, you name it, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting about apes, real quick, sorry to cut you off. They say, I've heard it said that like some scientists say they're in the Stone Age,
Yeah.
like how we were in the Stone Age.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. But now think about it. If there was an intelligent life form out there and they had just a 1% genetic difference than we did, think about how much smarter they would be. That's kind of mind blowing. Their kids would probably be doing fucking calculus 4. And that's what our Einsteins do.
But that's still an if.
It definitely is an if, but the probability, it's too big.
Yeah, but the probability that they've built and this figured out, traveling through space is also a big if.
Have you heard about the Bob Lazar story?
Yes.
What do you think about
Absolutely.
that guy? You think he's full of shit?
Yeah, I think he's full of shit.
He just made that shit up.
He
I
needs
think
to
he's
go
full of
watch
shit.
Joe Rogan, Commander
I've
David
seen
Fravor.
that.
You did not watch Commander David Fravor, who
Is that the one where it's two guys?
It's not. What do you mean? It's two guys.
Yeah, with Rogan.
No,
Well, yeah,
that's probably Bob Lazar and
No,
the
it
guy
wasn't
from-
Bob Lazar. I saw one. It was the guy with the beard, and then the
No.
other dude.
No, this is a former corporal from a Navy Air Force that,
Yeah.
and he'll tell, and I'm telling you, if you watch that, and he'll tell you, like, look, I'm not saying there's life out there, but I'm telling you what I saw and I've seen, and he's been on every type of plane known to man. He's flown everything. Like, he's been through every single course. If it's been in the air, he has flown it. And I'm telling you, Raul, if you watch that interview, I'm not saying it's going to convince you 100%, but you're going to at least go like 5 to 10%, I think. And you might be like a little more open-minded, because I know you and the type of person you are and the type of person that this guy they're interviewing, you can just tell right off the bat. He's a stand-up guy, so.
You had a real skeptical look on your face. I tried to get in on it. But back to Lazar for a second. You think he's full of shit. What about that Element 115 shit?
That's what I was gonna say.
I don't believe any of that, dude. I'm sorry,
But that's
He was-
legit.
He was talking about that years ago.
dude. I still don't believe it.
Oh, but how do you explain that?
I don't have it. I just don't believe it, dude.
So this guy,
It's like they're saying he can't find any of his papers because he went to MIT or some shit. You know why there's probably none of those papers? Because he fucking never didn't go to MIT. That's probably
He
why.
did- I don't remember the name of the school, but he did. It came out later that he did go. Like, they wiped his records clean, dude.
yeah, he has like transcripts. Like, there's things that he has that proves that he went there. They just tried to shut him up and discredit him, more or less. But the Element 115 thing is fascinating because he described the element before, when it was just a theory, like when people didn't even know it existed, and then it became proven, and now it's a known thing. It's not found anywhere on Earth, but it's a real thing. That, the lie detectors, all the things this guy's gone through, and you look at who the guy is. The guy's a fucking genius, like, without a question. This guy was putting jets on a bicycle when he was 9 years old. The guy like this,
he's interesting.
He's got no reason to lie.
Just most of these things, I'm also in the middle. You know, I'm not a complete skeptic, and I'm not a complete believer. But like, to me, the reason why I believe aliens are real or there is life out there is because of how big the galaxy is. Just ours. Just talking about ours. You know, and so they find new ones all the time. So with that being said, what are the chances that they landed on ours? Like there's such a huge chance of there being life on Earth. There's also it makes it such a smaller chance of them having come here. For me at least.
I guess it depends on what sort of technology they have. But one of the interesting things, and I think when more sightings started to happen than ever before, was during the first atomic bomb. And after that, I think we raised some eyebrows. We probably fucked something up somewhere, and they were like, "Well, we gotta watch. We gotta watch out for these idiots. They might fuck something up." And ever since, there's records of guys that work in these facilities where the missiles have just been disabled when they're testing them. That's another thing that, as skeptical as you could be, how do you explain that?
And I think one of the things for me with the Bob Lazar thing, and he talks about it, and he goes, and he eventually stopped, and he says in that, like, in the documentary, like, I don't want to talk about it anymore because nothing's happening. No one wants to listen to me. He goes, the only reason why I came out about it, because I feel like what was happening and what the government wasn't showing the people need to know about that. If they don't want to listen to me, then I'm just going to shut up. And like, he kind of has gone off to live in the middle of nowhere so no one can bother him because he's not trying to be bothered. So that, to me, that stood a lot of substance with me, when I guess I've always believed, even as a kid, like, I don't know, I just, to me, they're like, there's no way we're not alone. If you look at the perfect conditions for life to live, here, how's there not, with the galaxy so big and the other galaxies? And to your point, if you're only talking about 1% to make things happen where you have another type of mind, I mean,
the serious thing is, when you look at the story, the reason why he came out with this was because they took away his clearance. They had all his phones tapped, obviously, and they found that his wife was having an affair. So they deemed him mentally
unstable
if he was to find that out, right? So they cut him off from the project. He was freaking out, thinking these guys are probably going to fucking kill me and replace me with somebody else. So he came out and he talked about this sort of like as an insurance policy. So now that he's talked about it, if they kill him, it only validates what he was saying. So the only thing they could really do is try to discredit the guy. Then he found out his wife was actually having the affair, and the whole reason why he actually got let go from the place. And that's why the guy came out. But it's crazy stuff, man.
Yeah, you know what is crazy too? Like, I've noticed in the last couple years, like Commander Fravor, like Chad said, came out and obviously if the government was like super hush hush about it, they would have probably have been, he was a pretty high ranking officer. They would have been like, hey, do not go on Joe Rogan and talk about this. Do not go on all these other podcasts and talk about this. Actually, the one he did with this guy who goes on Rogan, he works on AI. I can't remember the guy's name right now. He's always in a black suit, and he's like in a Men in Black suit all the time. That podcast is better. I can't fucking remember his name.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, he's an AI researcher that goes on Rogan a lot. He's like a friend of his. So if the government is more open now to sharing those stories, sharing footage, there's something in the COVID bill that got packaged in there that's coming up in a few months. What I wonder is, why haven't they brought a guy like Bob Lazar back in the fold if they really want to, find stuff out, keep investigating, keep researching? That sounds like a guy you'd want to have on the team,
Is it Andrew Yang?
No, Andrew Yang is the guy who's on the universal basic income ticket. He ran for president.
Ben Goretzel?
No, he's a Russian guy, actually, this dude.
Ben Shapiro?
Lex Friedman is his name.
Okay.
Lex Friedman just came to me. If you watch Lex Friedman's podcast with Commander Fravor, it's actually better than Joe Rogan's podcast with Commander Fravor. Not that one was bad, but that guy's, he's more like a scientist, so like the type of questions he asked them were a little bit more real stuff. I mean, at minimum, we don't know what the fuck that was, right? Even if it's not an alien, like, fuck, we want to find out what that shit is, right?
Yeah.
As a country.
Yeah, I think the bottom line is people can't handle it. as a whole. You know, like maybe everybody here we'd probably be somewhat okay with it, but I think the general population would walk out.
That'd be chaos.
It would be mass fucking chaos.
Yeah.
It is the reason behind, and I hope this isn't too
Are you scared, Hialeah? You look scared.
Like, scared?
Yeah,
No,
you
I'm
look
not
scared
scared.
there for a second.
Are you a religious guy?
No.
Oh, okay.
0%.
You got some religious in you.
He pleads the fifth.
All right.
Oh, so you're not gonna 0% the religion. All right.
I don't talk
Yeah.
politics and I don't talk religion.
Hey, Hydra.
Hail Hydra.
Hail Hydra.
Sometimes
All
that's
right.
the biggest reason for people's skepticism. You know, it's like the religious part of it. I think. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, look, man. Last week he actually follows your page. This guy, Ben from Central Utah Paranormal, and he seemed very religious, right? He's a Mormon, and but also he delves into the ghosts and paranormal stuff and UFO stuff. And that was a question I wanted to ask him, guys. When we had him, I was like, how does that does this go against your religion? Obviously, it doesn't. I guess, right? If he does it, or is that like problematic within? Because I don't really know a lot about the Mormon religion.
Oh, no, I don't know about Mormon.
Maybe next time we have him, we can ask him about that.
Are those the guys that could have like 7 wives and?
Mm-hmm. They're polygamists.
Oh, the Mormons are the ones that can have 7 wives?
Yeah, they're polygamists. Brigham Young started it.
I didn't know that, dude.
Yeah, Brigham Young is their prophet, I believe.
Damn, we should have asked him how many wives he had.
They don't all practice belief.
I had to pick one religion. I think that would probably be the one.
Hey, let's go around the table. What percent are you on multiple wives? Tank, you go first.
I can barely handle one, dude.
Exactly, 0%. I can barely handle one.
What percent are you on side chicks? Ashley's not gonna watch this. Don't worry, bro.
Take no chances, man.
I'm not gonna answer, bro. Next question.
There definitely would have to be like Big Remo's at 0%. What's up, Big Remo?
Hey, what's up,
Big
Remo?
Remo 90 is in the closet. He has not come out yet.
Yeah, I've not come out the closet. My wife will be scared for that day once I do. Yeah, I'm gonna go out and I'll answer it. And I'm just gonna say I'm with Tank on this one. It's hard enough to handle just one, and I can't even imagine trying to handle a side chick as well on top of that. So I'm going a big fat 0. I'm good with just one.
That's too much work, dude. Too much juggling.
We'll send that clip to your wife, dude. Don't
Speaking
worry.
of side chicks, El Chapo's side chick snitched a
Oh,
whole
yeah, I
lot
know.
recently.
And you saw the dirty look that she was getting from El
And
Chapo's wife.
Yeah, the wife was
wife was
saying
like,
shit,
yo.
but the side chick was talking all that shit.
Just chirping like a bird.
Yeah.
I wonder how that works, dude, in the multiple wife game. Like, is there like one that like, hey, you're the cooker, hey, you're the one you're on the bedroom rotation, you're babysitting rotation, you know, like do they have
Bro.
jobs and shit?
No,
Hey, Remo said it's not the way.
yes. Trust
The
me.
Mandalorian does not approve.
You never
It's
seen
not
that
the
show, The Sister Wives? The guy's a
Bro.
Mormon and he has like
My-
7 wives or 6
my-
wives or whatever.
My wife eats that show up, bro.
Dude, they each have a house, and he
Yeah.
goes like different days to each and spends nights at different houses.
Yo, and then there was this one time he got like caught because he wanted to build a cabin in the middle of the woods just so he could go on his own and be like with nobody. And all the wives are like, "What?" But like they're like, "That sounds skeptic." Like they like if he's trying to bring in some new wife or something like that. It was my wife. Eats that shit up. It's crazy. I couldn't do that, bro. And he's got like kids with all of them.
Dude, it's just too much work, bro. It's just too much juggling.
How much money does that guy make, and what the fuck does he do?
Yeah, but they work too. They work too, though. They support his ass as well.
What do the
They were all
wives do on the
stay-at-home.
days?
They're
What
not
do the
all-
wives do on the days that he's not with them?
they all hang out. They're either friends and
It's-
they hang out or take care of their kids. And
That's
Are they,
crazy
are
shit.
they family technically?
Yeah, I think so.
he could only be married legally to one.
What do they call each other?
Sister wives.
Sister
My
wives.
sister wife.
wow.
David,
There's
you
a
look.
term for that, David. There's
David's learning shit on this.
I'm learning too,
Right?
dude. David, you look like a pretty young buck kind of guy. You're not married?
Me and my girlfriend just moved in together like 7 months ago.
Hey, congrats on that. That's a hard ass thing to do. So
First
That's a
thing
big
we
step.
do,
Cheers.
yeah,
cheers.
gotta
I have
leave
to
the
go get
toilet
another
seat
one.
down, bro.
bro, that's the least of my problems. You know? At first, it was like, you just say, why'd you leave your dishes there? I'm like, I'm gonna eat again in like 2 or 3 hours, you know? So at the end of the day, when I'm fucking done eating, and I'll watch it.
That's what I think about making the bed. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking mess it up
Yeah.
tomorrow night.
Oh, it's the little things like that, you know? And man, the first month or two was rocky as fuck.
Yeah, bro.
It doesn't help. We have like 2 dogs. So yeah, it doesn't make things any easier. So
There's always that moment that you find out who this person really is, right? Like,
yeah.
there's always like, "Hi, yeah, blah, blah, blah." You know, you're going out, you're all opening doors for each other and shit. But there's like, you guys remember that moment when you're like, oh shit, this is the real person here. You guys remember? Do you have a specific moment that you
You
remember?
fucking when you wake up in the bed next to them. Oh shit!
You know when that moment is, bro? When you fart. You fart your first fart and you see how it goes. It's like
I don't know if it was
Nah.
mine.
I don't
Maybe
know.
it was hers.
a
Hey, but,
fart.
Like, you know, when
A fart usually breaks the ice.
No,
seeing them shit is definitely like a fucking moment there,
Ugh,
right?
I don't want to see that.
I had a strict no fart rule. Like you don't fart in you got to fart, you go to the bathroom. Like I don't want to smell it. I don't even want to think about you doing something like that. You cross that line.
See, the thing is, my wife doesn't, but I fire up a storm. She doesn't.
You're a chauvinist, dude.
I am.
There you go.
Dude, I didn't know girls did that till I was like 20.
Yeah, dude. It just doesn't seem right?
hey, what? And they poop flowers too, right?
Yeah,
Too?
they poop flowers.
Yeah, these fucking guys. This fucking guy.
David, I'm gonna go to your page here real quick. Is there one of these videos that's sort of like one of your favorite ones that I can show real quick here?
I think the one on the bottom left, I think it's probably has like 14,000 views right now. Bottom right, I'm sorry. Yeah, that one.
This one right here.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at this one.
14,000. Pretty sure this was in Venezuela. It was just a random kind of a red light. I don't know. I don't remember if this one moved or anything, but a lot of crazy stuff is going on in Venezuela right now.
Oh, that moon right there.
Oh, see how it's kind of flickering in and
It's
out?
like pulsating.
Yeah.
Now it's becoming dim,
And
and
then
now
it's
it's
down.
out.
Somebody turned out the lights right there.
I don't know about that's a moon. That don't look like no moon to me.
At first glance, it could be a moon, but then the moon don't turn off like that.
People were saying it's
Yeah, but look, it gets bright, and then it just starts like pulsating, and then it's out.
It could be cloud cover too. If I want to try to debunk it,
Could be. Let me tell
Maybe.
you, probably the hardest one to debunk, right? There's one in there of a cow just fucking getting smashed down into some barn, and some guy caught it on a security camera. That's further down though. You gotta scroll.
all right. How you let me know when to stop.
I'll let you know. You'll just see a big fat cow in the middle. Keep going.
Why
I
you
see a
body
field
shaming the
here.
cow, bro?
Keep going. Keep going. It's a big cow.
Cancelled culture. Cancel that cow, bro.
There it is.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
it is. Up
David's gonna get canceled for body
Right.
shaming.
to the right. No. Down a little bit.
To the right, to the
Is
right,
it right?
To the
down.
right.
Oh, right here.
Right
To the-
there. Yeah.
Okay. Is
No,
this like?
you're on the right.
That's
Is it this one right here?
yep.
You don't see those cows?
It's like
He's
it's infrared, dude.
He's got
What was that?
sunglasses on.
Oh, look at that thing. It just fucking gets smashed into it.
Now, if I were a debunker, okay, I would be like, dude, there's a tornado that just went into this fucking place.
But then you don't see the little pieces of wood kind of dangling. You don't see those things getting picked up. And then
Yeah,
you
but
see people walk into the barn after. they're not walking into the barn if there's a tornado in the place.
You're right.
Definitely not. And
You're right.
bro, those cows would be gone.
Maybe they just
Okay.
threw it. Maybe they just threw the cows.
Who
So
the
what are
fuck
you
would
saying?
throw a cow like that?
So what are you saying did that?
I couldn't tell you, bro. God knows, man, if you believe in God. But something picked the cow up high enough, strong enough to just hurl it down into that. And even after, the cow's still squirming around like it's alive, I
It
think.
was like it's stuck.
Well, it's stuck now after it got thrown
Yeah.
into it.
Hey, do you think that cow's been
But
eaten
look at
already?
the hole in the roof.
Yeah, bro, that thing is giant.
Yeah, that's a massive hole.
Hey, one of my
What
favorite
about
parts
like
of the
Bigfoot?
yeah. Let's talk about Bigfoot. Are you
I-
into Bigfoot?
No, I'm saying like,
I
what
get
if
it.
like something like a Bigfoot kind?
I've heard things about maybe it's a different
You cut off,
species.
bro. What was it?
Is it
It
me?
has a corgi.
You guys hear me
Dog.
okay?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're good.
I can hear
Yeah.
you.
I can
Yeah.
hear you.
Yeah. I don't know. I've heard different things about Bigfoot. Maybe it being a different species or something like that, and it just kind of keeps quiet and hides. But I feel like it's something we probably would really know about it if it existed. I'm more interested in what's in the ocean because we know more about what's in outer space than about what's in the depths of the ocean.
I'm with you
That's
there.
crazy.
Yeah.
And
Ocean
there's
is
like
crazy.
alien-like
Ocean is
things
crazy,
in the
bro.
ocean too.
Hey, did you guys know we have a Florida version of? I just learned this today. A Florida version of Bigfoot.
What's it?
What-
It's a skunk ape, ain't it?
A skunk ape. Thank you. I'm surprised you, of all people, know that.
What is that?
You'd be
But
surprised, but I was
he has to know all the things he has to be
I was-
0% on.
I was fascinated with all this stuff. Okay, I've always been fascinated with it. Doesn't mean I believe it.
It's good to be skeptical.
Tell us about the skunk ape, dude.
The skunk ape is it's pretty much all in the South. It goes all the way from like Louisiana, Georgia, Alabama. It's basically the Bigfoot of the South, and they call it the skunk ape because there's a smell that it emits, and that's why it's called the skunk ape. Because people say they smell it before they see it or hear it.
Yeah, it supposedly stinks like nothing.
Yeah, the skunk ape.
Those are just hobos, bro. It's hobos in the wood.
Hobos in the wood.
What the fuck?
Look at that shit.
That doesn't look real.
It's probably an artist rendering. I wasn't able to find any like legit pictures of it.
That's fucked up. That looks like a really hairy raccoon.
I know there's a swamp called the Okefenokee, and there's supposedly a creature called the creature from Okefenokee.
That sounds like crap. Look at that. That's a
No,
fucking
it's true. It's
dinosaur.
a swamp. It's a swamp. It's called the Okefenokee Swamp. I think it's in Louisiana.
I mean, those are places
The
people aren't
chupacabra.
really at. Skunk ape.
Yeah, skunk ape. That was a new one for
I
me.
didn't know
just-
about that.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
either.
Interesting one though.
How
That's
about
what they used to call
the
me in high
sighting?
school.
Skunk ape. Yeah, I get it. I can see that. How about the UFO sighting we had in Arizona just a few days ago?
That was interesting, man. Yeah, that was weird. Apparently, it was a American Airlines pilot who had something come up on his radar. It was above his airplane, but it said it was cylindrical in shape,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is a little weird. And it was really flying at crazy speeds.
He said it looked like a missile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you make of that, Hialeah?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
I didn't see the video. Can you pull it up? Is there a video?
I don't know because it
No.
was on a commercial flight.
I don't have an answer. I don't know.
Air traffic control talked about it and said, of course, like even if there's like a last minute like test flight or anything like that for the Air Force, they have to know because they have to keep that area cleared for whatever time that they're doing it. So there was no reported, actual military aircraft to be in that area at that time. So it definitely wasn't, I guess, a U.S. military aircraft. Maybe it could have been from another country if it was a military aircraft. But they said like the way it was like, coming at them, it had to been coming at them head on as well for them to see it and to go over them.
You know, it's interesting though. If it was like a missile or something like that, it would have had like a tail, right? A tail of smoke coming out of it, or something to kind of.
Oh yeah, like yeah, flame something, right?
Had none of that. That's the weird thing about it. Like, how is this thing? How is it propulsing itself forward? That doesn't make any sense to me. You know.
Yeah, it says here it looked like a long cylindrical object that almost looked like a cruise missile type of thing moving really fast. Went right over the top of us, the pilot said in the radio transmission. So, yeah, he was like, hey, do you guys have anybody in the air above us? You know, this thing just flew above us.
I think it's a strange thing, man. And these things have been happening so much more recently than I think they have in the past. I don't know how into conspiracy.
Why that though? That's also an interesting thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know how into conspiracy theories you guys are, but a lot of people are saying, you know, soon enough they're going to come out and they're going to say something is out there, something exists. They're going to paint it in a negative light, right, to try to get people to unite and more or less have some sort of one world government or try to establish something of the nature.
The New World Order?
Something like it.
Just too sweet, baby. I don't know if it'll be anything
Oh,
like
Hogan.
that because you're talking about like wrestling greats on that, and I don't know I don't know if we have
NWO for life.
NWO for life. I don't know if we're gonna have,
Hialeah believes in that one.
I don't know if we have enough world great politicians to make that one happen. You know,
Hey, and they use Jimi Hendrix, great music, in the wrestling version of the New World Order.
Bam, bam, boom. New World Order. He come out playing the belt, bro. I'm a huge wrestling fan. I hate to throw myself out there like that, but
Hey, one of the things you talked about, David, when we were communicating earlier was some COVID conspiracies. Do you have any that you kind of like? Some of your favorite ones?
Yeah.
And again, this is all this is all fun. We're just shooting the shit. But you want to share one?
One of the things I've been looking into, I went down a rabbit hole. I have a buddy who loves to torment himself by looking deep into the web about information and stuff like this. Personally, sometimes I'd rather not even know, but sometimes he'll drag me down that rabbit hole. And basically, there was a mathematician. I think he was on, I forget, one of those late night talk show hosts. And basically, this mathematician drew up all these statistical simulations and models. And there's a greater than 95% chance that this virus was created in a lab, right? And Wuhan does have a virology lab where they study viruses and they purposely mutate the viruses so that we're prepared for a worst case scenario. And it sounds like a good idea, right? But the problem is that we could be creating the exact thing that we're trying to, be prepared for. So what this guy came on and said is basically that there's a 95% chance that he created it, or someone created it, and it got out accidentally, maybe not accidentally. I think it was too coincidental. The fact that the virus came out of China, Trump was beefing with China, and
To add to his point that he's saying right there, something that I don't want to say I came up with it. I thought about it, on my own time. During the time when all of this came out, the protests in Hong Kong were happening, and they couldn't control the crowds.
Wow, very true.
And Wuhan is very close to Hong Kong. And I always thought that maybe they released it to try to control them, to keep them inside their homes and shit, and it just got out of hand.
If we're gonna, Steve Stone Cold is in the chat. What's up, dude?
What up, Steve?
Yo, Steve.
So another one that was kind of interesting too, just to piggyback on David and Tank's comments. There was, and I haven't looked into this, I'll be honest, but at some point I saw eventually info came out that like all the countries' stock markets were doing terribly. A lot of the economies were doing terribly, but that China's was one of the first to recover and one of the first to go back and start making money, selling goods and getting back to work while everybody else was still fucked up. So it almost seems convenient. It's a lot of the stuff that happened.
It also came out that they were working on a vaccine in January.
Hold on.
And that's basically when we found out about this. So
Dude, you guys aren't gonna ask me what I think. I'm surprised.
I can't wait for your input.
Yeah, we're on pins and needles.
I'm
bro.
surprised. I'm surprised no one's asked what I think.
I'm trying not to like bully you. Some people say I bully you. I don't want to do that. So obviously, feel free to chime in.
I am in total agreement. I think it got out of somewhere. I don't think it was in some. But listen to why I say that. It started when did it start? Like in November, right? That there was something going on in China.
No,
It's like
Virus.
December, I think.
Yeah,
right,
it was
November, December, right?
because
Yes, we didn't really start hearing about it till January, I think.
Right.
But
We
yes,
didn't start hearing about January, but it was late November, December when it started.
yes, maybe even
And-
before.
And the news they started showing, hey, something's going on, kind of like when Ebola starts and all this shit. And they built a hospital in a week.
Yeah.
Yes,
A massive hospital in the week. And I was in bed with my wife and I go, who built a hospital in a week? They know something is going on. They're just not letting us know. It's not out yet. And you don't start building a hospital in a week because something happened in a market. You don't start taking a shit over something in a market. Hey, that's something you can control.
Yep.
But they knew something before anybody. Something got out. And you know what? This virus is bad, but it's not the worst thing that could have gotten out. But they knew that it was going to be out of control. And that's what I believe.
how about that whistleblower doctor? Remember him?
Yes, and he died, and they tried to silence him, and he died within like a month. How convenient.
You gotta
Take a
take a
drink.
drink. Take a drink.
You got to take a drink.
Wish I had mine out.
And everybody in the
I'll get
chat,
another
take a
one.
drink.
Yeah, I don't think it started in some freaking random market just because whatever. Because they have they're selling all these different kind of species, and something's going
They've been
on.
doing that forever, dude.
Exactly, dude. No nation builds a massive hospital in 7 to 10 days. That's not feasible. It's not. I've never seen that in my life.
You had to be prepared for that, is what you're saying.
They were getting prepared for it, dude.
They knew, man. And
They knew. They knew before anybody else knew.
what's super crazy to me, like political affiliation aside, and just to kind of set the record straight, I think I consider myself a moderate. I'm not too far left, not too far right. I'm somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just so like if you just look at the facts, right? The virus comes out, everybody's stuck inside. It's an election year. Mail-in ballots become a huge thing. And lo and behold, now we have a president who's pretty friendly with China.
I don't want to go that far. I don't want to go that far.
Yo, he was dropping some bombs today. You guys saw that?
Yeah, he dropped some bombs.
Yeah,
I don't want to go that
literally.
far. I don't want to go that far. I think it was I think it got out. I don't think it was intentional with a greater plan because you really can't see. Come on, it's seeing that many steps ahead.
Hey, bro, they're playing chess, dude.
That's it,
Not
man.
checkers.
And you play.
Doesn't mean they're good at it.
Well, they have about 1.2 billion people being oppressed. I think they're pretty good.
No, but I'm saying what you're saying is that it influenced our election. The mail those are a lot of steps ahead.
Of course, I'm not saying that's definitely the case. I'm just saying I wouldn't count it out.
He's saying how convenient.
I'm saying how convenient. And if you think about Trump was really tough on him. He was really tough on him. And now he's gone. Right? The one less thing they have to worry about. They're back to, doing what they do. And I don't know.
I won't go that far.
I mean, I don't like to close doors. I think, Jesus Christ, almost anything is possible, dude. When you got people in power and people who want to maintain power or get in power, anything goes, dude.
You know what's
It's
something
been
that's
proven.
not brought up, and I was just looking for it, and I just wanted to make sure. I forgot what it was called, but I think it was October 18th or sometime in October of 2019, right before everything hit. Johns Hopkins University, it was funded by like Bill Gates and some other people. It was a complete rehearsal of what would happen if a pandemic were to actually take place, and how they mapped out exactly what the government was going to do, the money, and step by step of what exactly would happen. And then no longer than like 2 months later, we're hit with it.
How
But they've
convenient.
done that before, though. Chad.
Yeah, but go look at that one, and
I understand that, but they've done that before.
okay.
Hey, but why the fuck is Bill Gates the fucking Surgeon General all of a sudden?
I exactly. I'm in agreement there.
Money, that's it. Money.
Yeah, he's got the money. Money is power, like you said.
I'll be right back.
Why are we listening to this guy?
Because why do we listen to movie stars, bro? What,
I don't listen to movie stars.
But the majority of people are freaking hanging the fucking Kardashians, bro. What kind of fucking talent do they have? And everybody hangs.
They're
on
the reason aliens do not make contact.
I want to make contact because of them.
I would like to make contact with them.
I'm sure you would. Which one? Which one?
Kylie.
Yeah.
Look at that. You know the names. You got it.
Caitlyn. Hey, Caitlyn for David's boy's dad.
You
It's
want
funny
China
how-
Black. You want China Black.
It's funny how times change, dude. I was listening to some old hip hop like before when I set up the little studio and everything. You guys remember Craig Mack?
Nah.
Nobody remember? Old rapper. It was one of like Puff Daddy's rappers, and like one in the rap, Bruce Jenner came up, and it was just funny. I was like, that rap didn't age well. But he was like, I got stamina like Bruce Jenner, and I was like, if he only knew who Bruce Jenner would become. It's funny, dude. It's like that old picture of who's in the middle. I can't remember. There's an announcer in the middle, and he's flanked by O.J. Simpson and Bruce Jenner. He's like, you're not gonna believe what the fuck's gonna happen to these two, and it's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has definitely been the two craziest years of my entire life. These last 2 years, I'd say that.
It's just we're seeing things that we never expected, man.
I just know everything went to shit after Kobe died.
Oh, amen, man. Amen.
Kobe, COVID.
Coincidence? I think not.
Yeah, I think not.
Nah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, bro, crazy.
I don't think this is the first. I don't think this is the last time we're gonna see a pandemic in our lifetime.
The thing about pandemics, man, is history's riddled with them. It's not like this is the first pandemic. It's just our first major one. But the Black Plague, the Spanish influenza, they've always happened. It's not nothing new, but
what scares me, what if it was way fucking worse?
dude, can you imagine if it was Ebola and people freaking bleeding out all over the place out of every? That would. Can you imagine that?
I Am Legend type shit, right?
Yeah.
Love that movie. Yeah, like a real deadly disease, right? Like something that like you get it and that's it, death sentence. You die in 2 weeks. Can you imagine that, dude?
Dude, just read up on Ebola, dude. Everything starts turning into liquid. Like you were talking about, your brain oozes out, dude. Everything starts oozing. Your eyes start bleeding. You start bleeding out of your. Dude,
that's what happens when you say 0% to me.
Now, let me ask you guys something, right? So Elon Musk wants to take people to Mars, I think, in the next 10 years. Mm-hmm. Given every fuckery that's going on here, would you guys go?
Fuck no. Personally,
man, if I was single and I didn't have kids, I would fucking, if I had a chance. Dude, that's going to be such a hard life, dude. I mean, think of the people that came just to the U.S. from England, settlers. Oh, my God, it's going to be like hundreds of times harder than that. A long trip, terrible conditions.
6 months. He came out and said it would take 6 months in what I guess it's like it would be like a air space bus. I guess, I don't know what they call it, but it would be 6 months. But he also said too, because of the way Earth and Mars rotate around the sun, it could only actually happen within every 2 years within a certain 6 months.
You have a window, yeah.
Yeah. So it would be something like when people start to do, it would be like, oh, yeah, I was part of this,
cycle.
Yeah, so to speak, and got over. So, but yeah, I mean, I'll say if things, of course, look more prosperous, like, yeah, sign me up. I guess with my family, comparative, like, if we keep deteriorating our earth here and, in a sense, keep destroying each other. I mean, I know we've kind of like gone all over the place tonight with some of these topics, and I love it. One of the other things I wanted to like kind of bring back, and I know you mentioned earlier, David, about how, I guess they would come out, say something, and then try to unite the world as like one government. I think that would be almost impossible. I think that, to me, that would be something like, yeah, people would unite, but I mean, of course, I'm not trying to bring up religion, but I also feel like there's a lot of teaching and learning in, the Bible and stuff like that. As far as like, if you look at the Tower of Babel, I don't know if you know that story, but it's pretty much like people not being able to communicate with each other, right? That's why there's different languages, and that's why we have war, right? So even with something like that, like, would that unite everyone to really, be together? I don't know if that could really like happen in that sense. I think it would happen to a certain degree, but eventually it would be some craziness unless it was some sort of being that was from another planet that was just so powerful that we had no choice because there was only so few of us left.
There's a whole conspiracy theory about that too, Chad. Like Reagan had a couple of speeches where he said, "What if, we had a alien threat? What better thing to unite us than something like that?" And there's a lot of people that say that like that maybe some of this stuff's all a ploy to maybe create a false flag alien thing where they can get
us together.
Yeah, get us together. It's a little out there, the theory, but it is a theory that's out there. It reminded me of that when you were talking about that.
I discount nothing, man. And I think anything is possible. But I think in order for the whole Mars thing to be viable, I mean, I think the technology we have now is great, right? Like, you could speak fucking German and I could speak English, but we have Google Translate, and I could speak into Google Translate and they could spit out German right back to you, But I think in order for the whole Mars thing to work, they'd have to figure a lot of stuff out. Right? They'd have to figure out form of government. They'd have to figure out healthcare system, a court system, so it's not just fucking anarchy and mayhem. And they'd probably have some, I think, strict qualifications maybe for people to even make it out there.
Yeah, I mean, to your point with those things, like, obviously it would take some time because the first people that get there, and it would have to be established, and then it would have to be, things like that. So it could be even longer than 10 years, because there's no, like, in 10 years we might be able to get there, right? Or a few people, but there's no way civilization could get there, I think, in 10 years.
Yeah, like everyday people.
Yeah.
We should have been there by now, dude.
According to the movies, I guess you're right.
I mean, we went to the moon, and if you believe that, we went to the moon in what, 69, Hialeah, or 68?
69.
Do you believe that we went to the moon then, Hialeah?
Yeah, we went to the moon.
Did we go to the moon then, though?
We went to the moon in 69.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Because some people believe that we didn't go to the moon then. I mean, of course, we've been there by now, but of course, some people believe we didn't go to the moon then.
Yeah, we went. I think the last one was in 72. I think it was like, I don't remember exact numbers, like 10 or 11 times or 12. Something like that.
I don't think it was that many, but yeah, we went multiple times.
Yeah.
Do more
but don't you think that on that trajectory, when you went with that old technology, and I understand interest went down, but fuck, man, we could have been there by now. We could have been in Mars by now, which is a natural progression. This planet's going to die eventually, whether it be us or natural causes. If we want humanity to continue, we should be doing, and thank God for Elon Musk, but we could have fucking already done it, I think, if we would have put enough resources.
What a difference a man can make, right?
And what's more important than that, right? Shouldn't that be the number one priority?
To get to Mars?
To expand.
Yeah.
To give us a chance to, like, we're literally one giant asteroid away from being nothing, right?
A couple atomic bombs.
Yeah, a couple crazy people saying, "Oh, fuck you, get these. Fuck you, you get these. Oh, these," and then that's it.
Yeah, but I guess the big issue and the problem with that is I think it's money at the end of the day. Because even if you think about all those moon races and all that, like I feel like the reason maybe why they of course things stopped right with NASA and everything, it almost like came to like a dead halt. They weren't getting funded, but it's probably because there wasn't like this big race to get anywhere. And I also think to get to Mars, and thank God, to your point, for someone like Elon Musk, he's someone that could like think like, all right, how can we get there? Like, I don't think there's too many people in the world or that have been on this planet to have that, I guess, that intellect to be able to do something like that. And of course, obviously this guy does, with the things that he's been able to create. I don't know if we should have already been there by now. Maybe we should have been, getting a little close, but I don't know.
We could have maybe. Hey,
If we can't get along here, how are we going to get along to go to Mars?
I think money is a big thing for everything. Because I mean, think about this, bro. Like, I think one of the reasons why hemp was like, or like marijuana was like completely like, when they made it bad because it was coming, from Mexico and they named it marijuana. It's almost like, oh, we don't know what it is, like we gotta ban it. But if you look at the person,
it was banned because it was hurting the tobacco crop.
No, it was hurting paper industry.
Paper and tobacco.
Yeah. So
tobacco.
And then the guy that pushed for it to be illegal the most was the guy that owned the biggest paper company in the entire country. So things like that type of greed, I think, is why we're stuck where we're at, because people don't want to, give up or like venture out, and they want to, stick to their tried and true. Somebody, hey, look at Remo, my guy.
Hey, David, are you cool to keep hanging out with us for a little bit longer?
Yeah, I'm cool.
Okay, I mean, dude, if you gotta go, feel free. No worries. I do have this guy's from an ancient civilization, and he's gonna come and probably infuse us with some old school knowledge. He's the type of guy who keeps what is that old papyrus?
He's got papyrus in the back pocket.
Yeah. This guy
scrolls, the papyrus scrolls.
Yeah, old school knowledge right here. One of the oldest goats. What's up, bum?
Gentlemen,
Surprise!
good evening.
Surprise!
How are
visit.
you?
Yo, this is a full panel. I like this.
This is a distinguished panel, and that's not because I joined. It's because it was already set up that way. Good evening. Very nice conversation you guys got going here. And yes, I have.
Speaking of asteroids, you saw it hit, right?
He was around in the dinosaur era.
He was there.
I gotta tell you, I was in elementary.
I didn't know where you were
school.
going. Sorry, Tank.
I was in elementary school, and I just saw it pass over the school when it wiped out, the dinosaurs. But
big conspiracy at the time.
Yes, big time. Hey, but wait a minute. Hialeah is about. I think he was sitting like 2 rows down from me, right?
I was back.
Yeah, he was.
They held him back a couple of grades, or I don't know. I don't know if you guys were in the same class, but yeah.
I was watching the show and I was just waiting, for somebody to insult your guest, but I think you guys are doing good.
No, we appreciate David coming on and talking with us. I mean, I just met him like a few days ago, so that's cool.
I was looking at some of those pictures. Really awesome, David. Pretty interesting stuff there.
Yeah, man, the internet's a crazy place.
Good stuff, man.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, David, you just seem like one of us. So cheers, brother.
David, after that experience when you were 7, anything else?
He was 9. Get your facts straight,
Oh,
Tank.
sorry. Sorry, bro. He came when he was 7. Sorry.
Yeah.
We've been drinking. It's good.
No, I'm just talking shit. My bad.
That was the only thing I ever saw, man. But it was really enough to get me going. But dude, now in the internet, you see all of these different things. Some of them could be fake, some of them aren't, but they're enough to make you think, man. And it just reinforces it, I think, for me.
Definitely.
Everybody has. I'm all into this stuff. I don't really have a personal experience, dude. If I have had a personal experience, it would be unbearable for Hialeah. He would be like, "No, dude, I can't do the show with you." 'Cause that would just put me like a whole nother level if I ever had a
It's pretty
personal
close
experience.
right now.
What would happen if Hialeah had a personal experience like that?
Dude, he would.
That's not real.
We'd have to put him into a mental home because he just
You ever
couldn't accept it.
the Chappelle, the Bigsby, you know when the guy's head blows up at the back?
Oh,
What happened?
the Clayton Bigsby skit.
Yeah, the thing in Bigsby,
Oh, I
my
thought
head
you-
will probably explode.
I thought you were talking about Mr. Bibbles,
No,
the alien that comes out when he's Morgan Freeman.
no,
Like
no,
that's
no.
my favorite. It's like, yo, I'm out.
Could you imagine if they played that now, the Clayton Bigsby skit?
That could not be made again, man.
Yo, hold on. That was
Greatest skit ever, though. Greatest skit ever.
I was in high school when that aired, and I remember being so hyped for that show. And when that aired, and even then, until this day, I still can't believe that was the first episode ever of Chappelle's Show. And if you think about that, that is insane.
It would be
Crazy.
canceled. It would be canceled.
Oh yeah,
It would never even allow it to air ever.
no.
What a master, right? Fucking Chappelle.
Dude, you think they could make Tropic Thunder now?
No
Fuck
way.
no. The
No
Office
way.
wouldn't fly.
Actually,
and he
but
gets
you know
a
what?
pass for that, right?
Hold on. No, I think Robert Downey Jr. does get a pass for blackface.
Yeah,
in
bro.
that. Like,
Yeah, no way.
But
He
still,
does.
that was
Nowadays.
12 years ago. That was 13 years ago.
And I think you guys are going to touch upon the cancel culture and that.
Oh yeah, that's
that
where this
kinda-
is leading to, huh? That's
Even
that's
him.
where it's going to go there. But hey, you guys make fun of Hialeah a lot being a skeptic, but it's not like he's saying he doesn't believe, right? He just does. It's very specific. He just doesn't think that we've been visited, right?
Exactly.
He doesn't shun away the whole life thing.
Yeah.
Well, my problem is the 0.
yeah. It couldn't be like 5%.
5, I'll give
Right.
you 5, dude. All right, you have a lot of doubt, but you're not saying it's impossible.
Yeah, he's saying it's impossible that we've ever been visited. Impossible. So even
Right.
if think about this, when things couldn't have been recorded, right? That we weren't around. You don't think something could have happened then? Like
Yeah.
people believe that, for instance, during the time of Jesus when he walked, like things like that happened, and like, or if you look at the Egyptians, theory says, they're aliens that they saw. That's why they see people with freaking, crazy head, with freaking sphinx heads and lion heads and shit like that. People
Chariots of the gods.
yeah.
That's
So,
the whole
I mean-
thing about that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to go
or
to
maybe
it,
that's the way, or maybe that's the way they answered what they didn't have an answer for, and that's kind of like how the religion started.
Right.
Yeah.
But they have like,
That doesn't mean they saw it. Maybe they imagined that.
oh wow, you
It doesn't
offended David already.
necessarily mean it's alien.
okay.
Wow,
Everything.
I'm
Everybody
gonna
lost
excuse
them already,
myself
just
for
like
1
that.
minute. I'll be right back.
The answer for what my thing is, the answer for everything that we can't understand is not aliens.
I agree. No, I'm with you there. I'm with you.
It's not aliens. It's not a conspiracy. Everything is not. That's not the answer to everything we don't understand.
Well,
I am
that's
with you there as well.
I have a problem with the goat in that respect. When he asked me like, "What do you believe?" and I reverse the question. I say, "What is it that you don't believe? You believe in every conspiracy theory."
Exactly.
True.
So I don't go that way. For example, at minimum, what you have to say with regards to aliens is, at minimum, there's a bunch of shit you can't explain. At minimum, that's it.
I mean,
Now, whether you think that aliens have landed and abducted people and all that, that's a whole other thing.
or they're already here and they're lizard people and all this.
Lizard people, are we gonna get into that?
But that's what I'm saying. It's
The
that's
lizard
not
people are the
everything
Democrats.
we can't understand.
No, I get you there.
Hillary.
I don't know, with how long this Earth has been here, right? And to your point, Hialeah, okay, you do believe there's possibly life elsewhere, right? For how long this Earth has been here, and for how long you've only been on this Earth, and which is a decent amount of time, but we know you haven't been on this Earth from the beginning of time. I can understand why Randy's saying the fact that you're saying 0% of chance that we have ever been visited by anything else. That's crazy.
The thing that everybody makes light of, and oh yeah, and they're so fast and they move like this. Everybody makes light of how hostile space is, and they just think that somebody's figured it out and they got these massive things that move in all these directions. Everybody makes light of how hostile space is. We don't even know how hostile space is, and it's almost like you've read all these science fiction things and all this stuff. Oh yeah, it can't happen. They can't. We don't know. We make light of it. We make light of it, and if we can't figure it out, but somebody else can. That's why, for me, is the answer is not always it's aliens.
Yeah, or any conspiracy, right?
Well, yes, but 5% would tell you it's not always, but 5% of the time it could be.
Even Darian says 3%. He doesn't believe, but Darian says 3%. Yeah.
Hey, I always use this example. Imagine being in the desert, near Area 51 or whatever, the day that they decided to test the B-1 bomber, and nobody had ever seen that.
An idea.
If you see a B-1 bomber before everybody knew what a B-1 bomber was, you'd say that's a UFO.
That's a freaking alien.
It's a freaking black triangle, for God's sakes. Imagine for the first time you're out there and you see that freaking black triangle, you'd say that's a UFO.
Can you imagine being in Iraq and you see that thing fly over? Oh my God.
So, there are instances where, you could explain some things off, but, on the other side of it, there's plenty of stuff that is not explainable, right? There's no reason behind it.
And I agree with that, but that doesn't mean it's aliens.
But okay, Leah, I don't want to.
One answer to everything you can't understand is not going to be aliens.
Okay.
By the way, Goat, that was the B-1 stealth bomber. I think that was the B-1 bomber. But
sorry, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I went off what you said, but I know what you were saying. You're talking about that triangle one,
black triangle.
Yeah, stealth bomber.
The Black Hawk.
I'll show it in a minute.
Blackbird, I think it's called.
I don't want to make this a highly a bash session.
I'm not bashing. I'm agreeing to stuff.
I don't feel bashed. I don't feel
okay. All right, no, yeah. I'm prefacing what I'm about to say with that. that's the Vaseline to what's coming right now.
Okay, all right.
I don't want
my camera so you don't see me cry off.
No. Obviously, that's not gonna happen. What I'm saying is, yes, I agree with what you're saying, but then we also have to assign probabilities to things, right? So, when somebody says 0%, that means when you hear about all these UFO encounters, okay, that's bullshit. UFO encounter, bullshit. UFO encounter, bullshit. Commander Fravor, bullshit. Bob Lazar, bullshit. UFO over New Mexico, bullshit. The New Mexico lights, bullshit. So, that just means that automatically you're just bullshitting all of them without saying, man, there's so many of them. Maybe there's something somewhere that we don't understand.
Randy, I think you're just stuck on me with the 0%. I just, maybe that's what you're stuck on.
Oh, yeah, obviously. Yes, obviously I am.
Yeah.
Well, but to his point, you're overlooking the fact he believes in intelligent life, which is significant. He just disputes whether they visited this planet, right?
No, he says it's impossible.
They've never been here.
Well,
I think, okay, I'll give you 1%. The odds are really fucking
don't fucking give me more 0%, bro.
Feel better?
Fucking
Victory!
baby steps. Baby steps.
David, you can come back. David, come back. We
David
got
may
him.
never come back.
Oh, all right.
Victory
And look, I'm still at 0, but I'll give you the 1% so you could get over it. You know.
Yeah, I just got an email. David has retired from the business of UFO hunting, and he's never coming on YouTube again.
I got a feeling the door behind me is gonna open. It's gonna be David standing back.
Hey, let me
You motherfucker!
No, first it'll be Ben.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're getting
Ben is on
a
his
whole-
way.
I think you do it to be obnoxious, Hialeah. He had to go off the air.
No, I don't. I'm not trying to be obnoxious. I'm just being. I'm telling you. I don't. I think the probability is super freaking low.
No, you think it's impossible.
I think since
I think
Hialeah's become,
me thinking that.
I think since Hialeah's become a YouTube star, he's just been like,
Dude, stop with that. I
Yeah.
barely get anybody.
This YouTube snob, this guy.
Stop. You're the star.
Did you just say you're
I'm
barely
not
on YouTube? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, he's barely.
All right, well, let's run the week down. Schedule for
I
Hialeah.
like being on. I do things on YouTube. It doesn't mean I'm a star. If anybody, it's Chad's the star
How am I the star?
because you take over every show you're on.
No, that's because that's my personality. That doesn't mean I'm a star. That's just
We've
me
had a very
taking what I
mild.
want.
We've had a
It is.
very mild
That's what a star
chat.
is.
We've had a very mild chat tonight.
That's what a star is.
I'm trying to stay in my lane. I've been trying to stay in my lane tonight.
You're
You know?
learning.
I
Hey,
think
so-
everybody's been pretty good.
So could I ask what happened to David?
He might have had to go.
Yeah,
Maybe he went to fix himself a drink.
Yeah,
Yes, these-
I'm sure he'll
these
be
things
back to
happen.
the drink. And then, we found, we got to know David a little bit. He's got 2 dogs. Maybe he's got to take the dogs out. Just take care of business.
I don't know, but I'm just kind of feeling that Ben moment when he looked at his phone and said, "My kid, I gotta go take care of it.
Ben straight
I gotta
dipped.
go."
Ben straight dipped. At least David gave us the, I'm going to mute my mic and mute my camera. I'll be back, guys. I respect it.
Hey, I want to address Darian's comment here because it's for anybody who's religious or even went to Sunday school or whatever. Isn't that a fucking interesting question? And the reason why I find it interesting, I just started talking to my daughter about the Bible and God and those type of things, and that's the same question. She's very curious. That's the same question she asked me, and I was like, I don't know. She said, like, okay, and who made God? Where did he come from? And again, I'm not a very
one, bro.
I'm not a big religious person, so I don't know what the answer would be.
Yeah, you gotta start with Genesis on that one, I think, to even have a chance if you're gonna explain it religiously, right?
But
Dude, I'll
Genesis
give you
doesn't
my
tell you
dad's
who made
number,
God.
No,
but you get the story of Adam and Eve and the 7 days and everything like that.
I'll give you the verse, bro.
I always said you could do that, but I guess I mean, to try to help you, I guess you could just say God is he's the creator of man. It's a higher being that I don't know.
But who made him?
I mean, for all we know, he could be an alien, and we're in somebody's fingernail.
There you go. There's the answer.
I am interested if David ever comes back. I want to.
I did that purposely just for you, Hialeah. Just so you know.
Hey, John 1:3 says, God has no beginning. He always existed and always will.
There it is.
There it is.
Kind of like the chicken before the egg.
Well, or is it scientifically the Big Bang, right?
Dude, the Big Bang is the craziest fucking story anybody could ever invent.
Is it? Compared to what? Like a guy just showing up out of nowhere?
What's more
believable? On the earth?
What's more believable? That there's a higher being, or that the fucking world, something exploded and it made 2 atoms that can form together to create a bigger one that can make life? Honestly,
they're both pretty fucking crazy.
Even if it's not God and it was a fucking alien, I believe that there's some being out there that created us.
Yeah, some kid in his fucking basement running the simulation.
We could be the simulation within the simulation.
Like Rick and Morty, yeah.
Yeah.
There could be other simulations that are running other simulations within those simulations.
We could be just powering up the battery that's running the fucking car of somebody.
Exactly.
Who's the key master?
Oh, me. That would be me.
Hey, but it's and I think Chad touched on it earlier when he was talking about like, you know, the Egyptians and all that. There's like a ton of like cave drawings and even in books and papyrus, since you guys mentioned it, of what looks like freaking, you know, rocket ships, people with helmets on. Where the hell did they get that stuff when you didn't even freaking have an airplane, electricity during that time? And they're drawing freaking what appears to be rocket ships. I mean,
What's up with the Nazca lines, bum?
The Nazca lines, it can only be seen from a certain distance, way beyond about airplane distance. These are people that barely had any technology, and they drew lines that can only be seen from, you know, from pretty high distance, you know.
Why would you possibly do that?
Some people said that was like a runway to aliens, you know, like an airport, a communication to those people, you know,
a landing strip, a signal,
an airport. Yeah.
I'm getting a little rain in the area. Hey, well, I guess while I'm doing this, I'll show a couple items from the sponsor, Man of Action Figures. I don't have many items. That one's appropriate.
Oh, perfect. V. Diana. That was a good series back in the 80s.
It was, right?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
We also have the other characters available.
It was the guy that did, what was it, Beastman or something? And he talked to animals.
They used to eat rats, right?
Yeah.
I just got a couple more items. This is a really cool model. It's the 1970 GTO Judge. This is like a special version. It's called the Prosecutor.
Is that a with glue or a snap-on?
Man, no, that's such a bad car, man.
Die cast.
Oh, it's already built, or you got to build it?
Yeah, no, it's already built.
That's such a bad car.
GTO Judge.
Yeah, man.
Awesome car. And then lastly, I got one more car. What's cool about it's a van. Some people want me to make sure I say it's a van. This is a 1/12 scale 18 GMC Vandura. Very iconic.
That looks like a van.
Do you guys remember the name of all the 18 guys?
B.A. Baracus, Face, Hannibal, and God damn it,
Murdoch.
Thank you. Now, if we were the A team, who would you be? Hialeah, who would you be if we were the A team? Obviously, there's 5 of us here, so one of us.
I'll be Face.
I was thinking you're more like a Murdoch guy.
I'm Face.
All right.
Sounds like you're Murdoch.
Who would be B.A. Baracus?
Tank.
Me.
Right? Yeah. You would have to give it to Tank, right?
I could be Murdoch. I'll be
Is
Murdoch.
that George Papard?
B.A. Baracus is Mr. T.
Mr. T.
Okay.
Murdoch is which one?
Murdoch's the fucking crazy dude.
No, I'm not that guy.
Who's Starbuck? Who was Starbuck?
That's Face. That's Face.
Face, okay.
Starbuck?
Yeah.
Oh, the same actor that played Starbuck is Face?
See,
Yeah,
only the old guy would know my reference to Starbuck.
No, I got it. I got it eventually.
You didn't get it. You didn't get it. I got it right away.
He did. It was a slam dunk.
It was Starbuck, Apollo.
What are you, dude? My nemesis?
Boxy. Remember Boxy?
Boxy? They had a third brother, Zach, who died like right away.
Don't remember that.
Do you remember who Zach was?
No.
Was it Rick Springfield?
Oh my God, you might be right, dude.
Wasn't he a singer?
Yes.
Was he a singer?
Yeah, but he was a soap. He was on General Hospital as well.
Yes.
Is
He's
he Jesse's
Jesse's girl.
I love that song,
Oh,
dude.
she that Jessica's
You'll
girl.
have to check that. But I think that may have been the case.
Tank, look it up. Rick Springfield was he on Battlestar Galactica?
I didn't know
The
he was an
original
actor.
1978 Battlestar Galactica.
It's the Cylons.
I love the new Battlestar Galactica.
Never saw it.
I started to watch it after you recommended it, but
I heard it's good.
He was
I
in
heard it is, too.
Saga of a Star World.
He was in Saga.
1978. Saga of a Star World.
He was Lieutenant Zach.
yes, that's him, Zach. He was
Right.
Apollo's brother.
Nice
you
little bit there, bum.
You guys
old,
ready to
man.
get into cancel culture?
I guess
Oh.
so. You guys, I mean,
Spe-
we didn't finish out the rest of the A team.
Oh, my bad.
By the way, speaking of cancel, is David canceled or?
I think David had to go do those dishes he was talking about.
probably.
Yo, I'm the only one smoking a cigar, so I'll be Hannibal.
Yeah, that works.
How convenient.
I love it when a plan comes together.
How convenient.
Okay, you could say who I am.
You're Hannibal.
This guy.
You're just antagonistic.
It's fun.
It's easy.
It's easy, exactly.
And we'll just be real. I'm the real face.
Oh, there he is.
I am
with
that.
champagne. This guy.
Oh,
you
hell
go.
yeah. All right, now we're talking.
Yes, sir.
Now
David,
we're
we
gonna
were-
get into some shit.
We were concerned we offended you.
No, you could never do that. Trust me.
Actually, it was a very short time where we were concerned, but
No,
yeah,
dude.
that's fine.
This guy grew up in Jersey.
Jersey.
dude.
I'm just gonna say this guy's from Jersey. There's nothing
yeah.
that could offend this guy.
I'm an immigrant from Jersey, correct. Very tough to offend me. No, my girlfriend walked in the room. She was going to the bathroom, so we were talking for a little bit. You
all
know,
right.
to spare you guys that. So let me try and open this without waking everybody up.
Hey, but if they do wake up, they can join in on the fun.
Well, I think we're almost ready to transition into the cancel culture part of the show. So this thing is I don't know. Last few years has gotten really big. Would you say, guys?
Yeah, it's
Like
freaking
5 years or so.
Yeah.
What's your guys' feeling on this whole thing where like somebody sends out one tweet or says one thing and like you're fired or
Well-
you got to step down or
I guess I'll come out first and say I guess I'm sorry, Hialeah.
come out the closet. Come out the closet. Let's go.
I'm sorry, Hialeah, if I canceled culture you in any way while we've been on these shows. No, I'm just no, but I think I mean we've kind of already like set ourselves up for this, right? It was only a matter of time before it became like a I guess a bigger thing, or it became more of like this whole online bullying thing, right? I guess that's really where this has caught most of its steam, even though I guess it's public shaming in any way. It could be back in the day it might have been through like newspapers or like the news in a sense, but it's definitely gotten crazy. And hey man, I don't know, I think we live in a country, right? People have freedom of speech. I feel like everyone should be able to do that. And, you gotta not necessarily care about what people think about you or if, get tougher skin. That's just my personal opinion on that. I think as a country or even as, a generation, I guess you can say, or the generations come out, like we're just getting softer. And I think that's what this is all leaning towards for me.
Yeah.
What do you mean by softer?
Well, I mean, look
Opposite
at
of hard.
Sensitive.
yeah. I
sensitive?
mean, everyone's
Not hard.
everyone is taking
Flaccid.
everyone's taking
Ultra sensitive.
Flaccid.
everyone's taking everything personally, and or worry too much about what everyone else thinks about. Just focus on what they need to do, and you know what? You focus on you. You make yourself happy, and honestly, who gives a fuck about what anyone else thinks? You want to You want to trash me online? You want to, public shame me? You know what? I'm doing something right because people are hating. That's how I look at it. But I just feel like we've become soft in that. Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess I wasn't around then, Hialeah, but at one point in time, like if you messed with like just say America, right? We went in there and like, yo, showed you what's up. Now, is it kind of like a bully mentality? Yeah, but it's also like, yo, don't fuck with us or don't fuck with me if you don't want to get fucked with. We've lost that sense of, hey, and then people just being too sensitive on things. Like, as David said earlier, there's no way we could offend him. He's a guy from Jersey. Like, he's probably been called everything under the sun, being, not from this country and, being from Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everyone has that skin. And I think this cancel culture is a part of like people being soft and like, oh my gosh, people are gonna follow me on Instagram, they're not gonna follow me on YouTube or whatever the case may be.
Does a bully not bring out that skin though?
I was about to say, dude, I grew up in the park systems in Hialeah, and like, dude, it was a daily thing, dude. Somebody was gonna make fun of you. Oh, look at your shoes, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you struck out, bro. Oh, dude, you can't play back. Like, you dealt with that, dude. You learned how to deal with that, and then you would be like, oh, well, fuck you, What? Like, everybody gave it, you took it, you gave it. All right, whatever, dude. We're back the next day. I'm not gonna, we're not gonna kill each other. We're playing the next day.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's missing that thing in today's
that toughness.
It's definitely not there.
you're gonna get made fun of, and yeah, you're gonna make fun.
But during that time, there was probably something else that wasn't happening. You didn't get a trophy just for playing the game, right?
Mhm.
No,
you only got a trophy for winning, right?
Absolutely.
You're showing up.
And I apologize in advance when I say this, but when I had my pancakes with Aunt Jemima syrup or my Uncle Ben's rice, I never thought of politics, or I just ate my pancakes and I ate my rice. It had nothing to do with how I felt about anybody else. If that offends somebody, I'm sorry, but I never connected those things,
No,
it was syrup. It was syrup to me, and it was rice.
Right.
That's it.
And when Michael Jordan hit a big shot, you were never like, I wonder what tweet he's gonna put out now.
That wasn't around then.
But I
know, but we didn't care, dude. Like, we didn't care what
it's
political leaning they had.
No, okay, no. But for instance, you cared what he was going to say after the game, right? So that would be like the equivalent to like the tweet. I mean, I guess the whole tweeting thing is just people being able to like express themselves at any point in time when they want, right? That's like the big difference. But you would still be interested, like, yo, after Michael Jordan hits that shot, I want to know like what was going through his, you know what I'm saying? You would still be interested in what he wanted to say in that regard.
I think the whole reason the cancel culture exists is because of the internet, right? Like, everyone has a voice now, so everyone wants to feel important. And on the other side of that, everything you do and say gets documented permanently. Like,
Right.
With Kevin Hart, right? He was going to host the Oscars, and they dug up a tweet from like 2008 when he said that I think he said if he finds out his kid's gay, he's going to take the dollhouse he's playing with and bash him in his head with it or something like that. And obviously, it was a joke at the time. It was probably funnier at the time than it is now. But
he's also a comedian. But he's also a comedian.
It probably got a bunch of likes and a bunch of retweets and at the time, and then times change, dude. You don't have to be married to ideas and married to shit you said when at the time, a lot of people were doing it. Maybe today you wouldn't say it. You shouldn't have to feel like you're married to old ideas.
I think it's we all grow. This sort of cancel culture, they sort of bullied Kevin Hart into apologizing to everybody. Right?
They are bullies. They're
trying to show, don't fuck with us. We're going to cancel everyone who's ever said anything bad about gay people, trans, or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
but didn't they invite him back to come do it? And he was like, nah, I'm good.
He was like, fuck.
Yeah, he was like, yeah. They did try to like you know, go
Yeah.
back on what they said and bring them back. So
That he went on
When I think of
it's principle at that point, though. Like,
when I think of the cancel culture, I think of trying. It's like a do-over, right? You're trying to go back and fix everything that may have been a mistake before, and that's not really life, right? You don't get a do-over on everything. You can't go back and make everything perfect and right. Some things are wrong and you learn from them, right? And you move on. You can't always go back and try to, oh, this never happened. We didn't really mean to say this. Some things just stand for what they are, wrong or right, and you kind of move on. And I think a lot of that cancel culture is trying to go back and kind of change everything. And oh, this Disney film, is offensive because X, Y, and Z. And it's like, hey, you know what? It was appropriate at the time. Sure, maybe it's not right now, but you don't erase it from history. I don't know. That's just me, though.
that was the point I was
I'm old.
making. As we brought up earlier, like Chappelle's show, that first episode, that could never happen now, right? But for the time, no one even thought of that, right? Everyone laughed, thought it was hilarious. Like I went to school the next day. Yo, did you see Chappelle's show? You know what I'm saying? So I think you make a great point there, Bum. As far as like at the time, that's what it was. And that's what was happening in culture. Yeah, we I guess become more aware as we grow in life, right? And as a people, so we're trying to be more understanding of others and people that maybe feel excluded for whatever reason over the last years because of the things that we've done as a as humanity. So but I think you can't erase it. And a big thing that a lot of people are talking about right now is that Disney put up the Muppets on Disney Plus, and people are coming out and saying like, yo, that's a super racist show. Like it was like we're talking about the Muppets here,
Yes.
and they had to change the rating on it, or they had to put racism.
Whoa, what's racist about it?
I guess just be some of the jokes that were made at the time. Then, like I think they had to put in the description that there's like racism in the Muppets, and it's caused a big thing. Like it's been talked about in the last couple days. I mean, I don't know if you listen to him go, but I listened to a lot of Dan Levitard, and they were talking about it, and people were like up in an uproar because they're saying like some of the things that were happening on the Muppets were racist. So
They're actually going to bring back the Muppets too. They're going to have a new version of the Muppets.
Yeah,
that's going to come out.
Dude,
But
if you
yeah.
watch old cartoons,
Oh,
yeah.
no. Yeah, there was some, even for somebody that has like a strong threshold for some of that stuff. Yeah, what they did with the like Japanese during the 40s and the wartime cartoons, the Bugs Bunny. I mean, it was super, super racist. I get it.
You can also speak to that in comics. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but at one point in time, they were owned. Like, first of all, there weren't people of color, right? Like you didn't have, blacks in comics. And when they started to do it, they couldn't get the complexion right. So it was like a gray. So you couldn't really tell that they were black. And then to your point about, anyone from Asian descent, just straight yellow. That's how it was in comics. Like
and buck teeth with glasses.
You're describing the Asian guy from what's the movie with this chick, beautiful woman, Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Yeah.
Anybody ever seen Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Yes, I have.
Audrey Hepburn. No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hialeah would be the most Asian person here if we had, right?
Yep.
He looks a little. He could probably pull off like an Asian guy.
I can see it,
especially
a little bit. There you go.
After,
look at that.
Especially after he leaves my house.
Yeah.
That's all I had to say. That's all I had to say.
Thanks, Tank, dude. That was great input. But
well, to the point, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Bum. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, the other thing I heard the other not too long ago that was pretty shocking is they're redoing a lot of the Disney rides, especially like Splash Mountain and stuff like
Yeah.
that, because
taken out.
because of some of the references to an old Disney movie called Song of the South, which was super racist. I guess that they determined was super racist, and they're going to tear down that ride basically and redo it because of that, which is
do you
pretty
know
shocking.
The frenzy that caused for everything in that shop? That was like, I heard for like months it was like empty, because anytime they got any type of like plush doll, pin, toy of that ride, because people knew that's what they were doing, just bought up. It was just like it became the ride that had all the other toys in its shop, because they didn't have any of their own stuff, because people are just waiting for that, so the moment they do, they can just sell all those things.
And everything was on eBay.
That's happened with Gina Carano. Is that her name?
Yeah,
Yeah.
from the Mandalorian.
From the Mandalorian. All her figures are going for like big bucks, because so everybody's heard about her, right?
Yeah.
She put out a tweet saying, which is probably not a good tweet to put out, but she put out
it wasn't her first too. She's been warned, she's been saying things pretty
I heard that, yeah,
for a while. It wasn't just one tweet.
Okay, I guess this is the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yes.
So she made a comparison between being a Republican nowadays to being a Jew in the Holocaust.
Yeah.
And
that's a death sentence.
They cut ties with her almost immediately. They canceled all her figures, which are going for big bucks now. And I don't know, man. I don't really care, dude, what actors. I don't put personal stock in that, right? Like, I don't really care what Brad Pitt thinks. I don't really care. You're an actor, act. You're a basketball player, go play basketball. That doesn't mean you can't have your own thought, but like personally, that's not why I watch you. That's not why I pay for that entertainment. I pay for that because you're a good actor, or you're a good athlete, or you're a good whatever. And that goes back to what David was saying, like fucking social media, internet, that fucks all these people up, dude. They'll say something on there, and then all of a sudden you got to resign or you get fired.
Yeah.
But I mean, to me, I guess what comes into play there, though, like, and I guess what I have a problem with that is, now to your point, this is your job, and they're expressing personal opinion that has not even related to what their job is, and now you're taking their freedom of speech away, which is
you're not taking their freedom of speech away.
Okay, but you're giving them a consequence for them speaking their mind.
But they work for, let's say they work for a company.
Okay, you're right, and unless
that company, you represent that, you're a member of that company, and you represent that company. If they're not in agreement with you, they have the right to let you go. It's not stopping your freedom of speech.
Okay, that means she breached a contract in some way.
She was bringing undue publicity to the company.
See, that's to me though. That's
not. Nobody's telling her to shut up.
A company who has questionable material out there too.
Yeah,
you said earlier though that they had warned her a couple times about these things.
Yeah,
so that's not telling you to shut up. What is that?
It's not telling you to shut up. It's just you represent that company. Like when I was working for a company. If I would have got arrested for a DUI for molesting a kid,
bro, you're talking about arrest, DUI.
I'm just giving an example.
That's a terrible example.
Okay, then I'll shut the fuck up then.
But you're talking about someone.
Give you the example.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Take away your
Terrible
freedom
example.
of speech.
That's a terrible example. You're talking about someone having an opinion to someone raping a kid? Come on, bro.
That's almost like what happened to LeBron, right? When the whole Hong Kong, China was going on, he tried to give his 2 cents into it, and they were like, "No, you got to shut up," and that was that. So
Yeah.
Bro, I'm sorry, bro. That's a terrible example. You're talking about rape and DUI compared to someone like, oh, I feel like right now these type of people are getting ridiculed like that. I'm sorry, man. You can get mad and upset at me, but that's a terrible example, man.
wasn't the best example. I agree with you there.
Yeah.
I knew what he was saying, but
What was he gonna say? Because I feel like we didn't even let him finish.
Because what would happen, and I've worked for corporations too, if maybe not a DUI, they would have talked to you and be like, whatever. But if he got, any type of, let's say, sort of rape or anything like that, yeah, they're gonna fire you over that or they're gonna part ways. I get that, but if I were to come out and like, let's say they pulled up a tweet or something like that from a
Yeah.
long time ago, that's like, yo, come on, bro, like,
Yeah.
now you're taking away what the Second Amendment is. I'm talking
Yeah.
about what the Second Amendment is. I'm not talking about you
You
going
mean the First Amendment?
First Amendment. Sorry.
Yeah.
So,
But I agree with you, Chad. But you know what I think pisses people off too is that people know that a lot of these companies really don't believe in some of these causes, and they're just really protecting their brand and their money.
They're pandering.
Exactly. David showed the cash there. They're pandering. They don't really, some of them may even believe what Gina said, or may agree with it, but they're protecting the brand, just like the NFL, just like the NBA.
yeah,
Big time the NBA. Where was the NBA 10 years ago with some of the stances that they've taken now? They're taking them now because they're trying to be the pressure and they want to protect their money,
money.
That's how I see it. I see it very disingenuous at best.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, the example David just made about LeBron and the whole China thing.
Yeah.
That's like, really, you're all about equality and you're all about all this stuff you're talking about, and then in the same token, he's gonna take that stance on China. It's bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
China's their second biggest market outside of the U.S. So
Absolutely.
It's a big money maker for them.
And if you really want to get like a good feeling of the cancel culture, is if you have kids, especially as old as I am, when you look at what they're being taught now versus what you did in school, it is so drastically different. And we could argue whether it's wrong or right, or if it's accurate now versus before. But, it is really, really contrasting. I mean, when I was growing up, I used to have on Columbus Day, I'd color my Columbus Day cartoon. He was a hero. My kids are taught that guy was a murdering bastard, and there's a lot of different things like that you really see the contrast of the changing of the story, right, to something else, right? That erasing of, oh, Christopher Columbus didn't just discover America. He was like a son of a bitch, and he did all these things. And maybe some of that is true, but it's that shifting of ideas that people kind of get turned off by. Hey, look, he wasn't perfect, but he did do X, Y, and Z, and we know he wasn't perfect. Why you gotta like tear him down now and just like make him crap? Because there's an agenda to do that. And I don't want to get way too political on that, but I think that's what turns people off.
Well, I like that there's more transparency now, and maybe again it could go back to the internet, but before, yeah, it was all rainbows and color. I remember when we taught about Thanksgiving, it was like the Pilgrims, they had natives, and all was fucking great. But in reality, that really wasn't the case. So I like that it's more transparent now. Maybe it's being pushed more to one side than the other, but
there's got to be a balance, though, right? Wouldn't you say?
Middle ground.
Yeah.
I'm not in favor of erasing anything from history, dude, at all.
We'll rewrite it.
Yeah, no,
Right.
dude.
Call it out. Call it out as it was, but don't try to change it.
No, if anything, dude, you this person put out a fucking racist tweet. This person did a terrible thing. Leave that out there, dude. We want to know about that. We don't want to get rid of that. Let that stand, dude. Let the record show who is who and what is what, and then we're not stupid. Let people make up their own minds. But we suspended their account, we deleted their tweet, we tore down their statue, we rewrote their history. Fuck that, dude. Let those things stand, and then people should be smart enough, if they want to figure out what's what and what's good and what's bad.
And I'm with you there as far as like, because you can see people change and, grow, right? So like, if they said that, like, yo, I mean, I'm not who I was 10 or 15 years ago. I definitely think that you can't erase history or rewrite it. I definitely don't think you should glorify certain things of it. And I think, that is something that could, some people may do, but that doesn't mean it needs to be erased. Like I think
Yeah.
you need to be able to grow and learn going forward. And that's the only way you can do that.
I agree. And adding to that, it's really interesting. So our forefathers, way back when you talk about, let's say, like the Civil War, and again, I don't want to get too political, but they felt, in their opinion, right, even after the North won the war, that the best way to heal the country would be not by like pushing down the South and all the people that were involved with that, but by sort of commemorating them and respecting them. And they created military bases with the names of those generals, and they put up those statues, even though they were totally against it, but they felt to like reunite the country that they had to do that. They had to sort of respect them and kind of
Give them their
acknowledge them, right? They didn't necessarily agree because heck, they fought a war to beat them, but they didn't feel like they had to tear them down and just drag them into the mud. They said, you know what? Let's give these people a little due to bring this country together because we were so divided. Yet now that's very offensive,
Yeah, man. Definitely agree.
And the goat's playing with our screen.
Yeah, it's a ghost. The ghost.
The ghost of the goat.
No, it's the ghost of Hialeah.
Poor guy, man. I hope he comes back. You guys.
Oh no, that's my fault. He's like, bro, you never let me talk. But I just felt that was a terrible example, man.
Yeah, dude, you
You
never
put
let
him in
talk,
timeout
bro.
or something.
So
Dude,
I never. He didn't talk all show.
Go say sorry to him, bro.
I'm not saying sorry to him. He can get over, bro. He's the reason why our country's soft, right there, bro. I got.
Nah, he's old school. He's old school. Come on.
Nah, he's all right.
Thank you so much for having me. I gotta run. Cheers to all.
David, cheers, brother.
All right, bro.
Guys, take care.
Cheers.
Take care, Dave.
He probably wanted to get off anyway.
Yeah, bro, you made him leave, dude. This one was
Okay.
your fault.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this one. Look, there's no Hialeah, there's no gold. This is up on us three right here.
I guess I can't be on the show anymore.
But until the goat comes back, he's got no
Yeah,
guess.
I've overstayed my welcome.
Dude, you already made 2 people leave, bro, and 1 is off the camera.
Hey, we got the old. Sorry, I gotta go.
Oh, really? David had to go?
I think it's probably when I try to explain why we have Confederate bases.
All right.
I think that may have triggered him out.
All right. The guys on the bottom of the screen, you're diminishing my show. You're getting rid of people left and right. Let's try to keep it civil. Yeah, I wanted to talk about one other guy, dude, in this whole cancel culture thing. His name is Kevin Mather. He was like the president of the Mariners, and he was like a small owner. You guys heard about this dude?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
All right, so he's a president of the Mariners. He was a partial owner, and I guess yearly he does this like an address, you could call it, to the Rotary Club in Seattle, and he kind of tells them where the team's at. He runs position by position. He talks about what they can
State of the
expect.
Union, so to speak.
Yeah, basically. And first I heard about it was like, oh, he got fired because of his comments, and he had to step. Well, he didn't get fired. He had to step down. He resigned. And then I said, you know what? I want to watch this, dude, because this is probably going to be funny, dude. It's going to be some guy going off the rails and just saying ridiculous things. So I literally sat through 45 minutes of it as I was working. I had it playing in the background. And dude, I kept waiting. I'm like, where is this guy going to put his foot in his mouth? Where's this guy going to really put his foot in his mouth or say something ridiculous? And while I can agree that some of the things he said, probably somebody in his position maybe wouldn't have said them, but here's his offenses. One, he talked about a player. He said, this guy, he's got a lot of personality, but his English is not great. That's all he said. Another guy, he talked about a former player who's now a coach, who I assume if I hired you to be a coach and I paid you to be a player, we probably have a decent relationship, right? I wouldn't have hired you to come on as a coach if I didn't like you as a person or as at least an asset. He said, well, his English is terrible, and I got tired of paying for his translator. And when I told him, it cost $75,000 for a translator, his English got so much better really fast. It was kind of a joke, but some may say in poor taste, whatever. It didn't seem that terrible to me.
Is he like the Donald Sterling of baseball?
Dude, what Donald Sterling did, was legitimately racist. I don't know, dude. Saying somebody's English not great is almost it could be a fact, right? Your English is either good or not.
I consider it a fact.
Yeah, it's either good or it isn't.
It's an interpretation of reality, right?
Yeah. And
Do
then
you know who that coach was, right?
Hasegawa, or what's the guy's name?
I
He's
think
Japanese.
But also too, I think Ichiro had a translator, and that's what Ichiro's translator cost them.
Yeah, this was not Ichiro. This was it was a pitcher they had who is a coach. I can't remember his name. I think it was Hasegawa. The other thing he talked about, kind of just matter of factly, was the service time manipulation. So in baseball, when a dude's a rookie, if they bring them in like in April, the clock starts ticking on their eligibility. So by starting a guy in late April or May, they kind of save a whole year of team control. It's kind of been a big issue, really only amongst players and owners, because, oh, this guy's good enough to be on your opening day roster. The only reason you're not putting him on your opening day roster is because you want to have one more year of team control. They kind of all do it. And he talked about one guy they offered a contract to, he wouldn't accept it. So we want him to get some more at-bats in April before we bring him up. And then they were like, oh my God, this is blatant service time manipulation. But every single fucking team does it, dude. He got caught up in the Q&A session part of it where they started asking him questions, and he was just too honest about them. So what do you want? You want people just giving you fake bullshit answers all the time? Or when the time a guy's honest, we want to crucify him? He had some other issues that came up later. They were like, oh, he had this sexual misconduct case 10 years ago, and the team sucked. And so then fucking fire him fucking 10 years ago. Fire him 5 years ago. But this, to me, seemed petty.
Super petty. I'm with you there.
Yeah.
I think especially as when it comes to sports and we get so many candid answers from anyone, as far as if it's a coach, player, in these interviews, and then once you finally kind of get something kind of real, and to your point, I don't think it was anything outlandish or anything too crazy. Yeah, I think that's totally undeserved, and it's, I don't know, man. It's just crazy to me. Like, and especially in that type of industry, you would want transparency, you would think, because we don't really get that between fans and teams, I think. You know, you're always given that,
Company line.
you know, or I mean, look at every quarterback response ever. You know, like, oh yeah, you know, made some great passes, some great throws. You know, we didn't have the greatest, you know, looks a couple ways, but now we got to get back to work and be at it next week. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Yeah, it does seem a little one-sided though. That you know, if you are saying anything that is supported from a leftist kind of perspective, you're never going to really be called out for that. Anything outside of that, you're going to be banned, fired, suppressed, whatever it is. And I'm not saying wrong or right, which side, left or right, is you know, right. I'm just saying, man, it looks like it's heavily on one side, and if you're anything on the other, you're just banned. You're shot down. You can't think that way, which tells me that there's a lot of people who think that way that keep their mouth shut. And that's suppression, right?
Yeah. Where you at on this whole cancel culture thing, Tank?
I think it's fucking stupid. I think people should be able to express their own opinions about certain things. I guess I understand it in the sense where it's a company and you need to respect them in what you say. Like sometimes I feel like saying some shit to certain customers I have, but I can't because I'm wearing that company logo on my shirt.
and you're being paid at that time.
Yeah.
And I think that was the point I was trying to tell Hailey earlier. Like when you're outside of that time, you're not wearing that company shirt. You know, if you saw that person and they said something to you, wouldn't it be a different story?
Now, the only thing, and
I guess if they know who you work for, it matters.
Well,
I don't.
And there's a ton of cases that are going to the Supreme Court now that have to do with employees that have been fired from their jobs because the company looks at their Facebook page and found something that was offensive. They may have been doing, handstands with a keg hooked up to them, or, on a massive 3-man bong or whatever. And that's stuff that supposedly you're doing in your personal life, right? That shouldn't have, whether you're stupid enough to post that, that's a separate subject. But the fact that companies are looking at social media and your internet traffic and making decisions about you based on that, there's a ton of cases that are going to court about that, because there's people that are losing their jobs, they're getting suspended because of their activity outside of work.
Yeah,
And
I mean, one thing is if I get a DUI and I'm locked up for 4 days and I can't go to work.
Yes,
I do not fulfill my commitment to that position. But if I'm going to work and I'm doing my things, and then on my weekends I want to go do some wild stuff, maybe I want to go have a podcast and talk some shit, that's my time off, dude.
Yeah.
I am not what I do. That's what I do. That's not who I am. That's a means of my living, but that doesn't mean, and obviously when you get in those higher profile positions like actors and athletes, that shit gets all blown out of proportion. But I go back to I don't give a fuck, dude. I don't care. I don't watch a good Brad Pitt movie or a good Tarantino movie because I think, oh man, he thinks the same as I do as far as when he goes to the voting booth.
Right.
I don't care, dude.
But there's look it up. There's a ton of information out there now about how companies are going after employees because of their social media posts. Actually, a lot of them now do a search as part of, there's a background check when you're being hired as part of the background check. They're looking to see if you were with a bunch of whores or doing a handstand with a keg attached to you. or whatever, you know, and it's like, okay, what does that have to do with anything, right? I mean, that's supposed to be your private life.
I only hire people who are doing kegs on a handstand. If there's not a picture of you on a handstand doing a keg, I won't hire you.
Yeah.
Do you remember that guy we went to the game?
Trevor. That's my reference to that, doing a handstand on a with a keg attached to you. I always think of Trevor.
It's called the keg stand.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a white boy thing. It's a white boy thing. I knew he would know.
You know I'm hitting that keg stand all day.
For those of us that are in our 50s, yes. But imagine that shit being held against you, whether you're like a competent employee or not. I mean,
I can't even do a handstand, dude, much less fucking take a keg while I'm doing a handstand. Not that I wouldn't want to, but I can't.
I'm sorry that I canceled Hialeah, guys.
I feel legitimately.
Did he go?
I feel legitimately, but
I thought you were just putting him in the back room.
No. He did that on his own.
Of his own accord.
Of his own accord. I even tried to get him to come back. Chad, you should send him a message, dude. You're a friend. Come on, bro.
Bro, what am I gonna send him?
Sorry.
Sorry for what? That you made a terrible comparison about someone being able to speak compared to DUI and
what was the comparison though?
DUI and rape?
But why was he talking about DUI and rape?
Because and I get what he was saying. Because, for instance, you work for a corporation, right? And if he had gotten a DUI or gotten, let's just say, charged for, rape, they probably are going to let you go because you're not representing the company in the light that they want to. But my point was, we're not talking about what you feel or speak, like to what she was saying. So I'm like, bro, that's a terrible example. It's a terrible example. Bro, let me finish. Let you finish what? Yeah, of course they're going to let you go because you're showing them in a bad light, not for something you said in a tweet. You know what I'm saying? Like that was
the comparison is something you did versus something you said.
That he was talking about and I get what he's saying. You're representing a company and you have to be in their light and show, and I get that, but freedom of speech is something different from acting out like an idiot to what you were saying. And yeah, if you get caught being stupid, you probably should get let go, but should you be fired for saying something that you feel as your opinion? No. I just felt like it was a terrible example. I didn't even want to hear it. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear you talk about like that. Like use a better example.
Yeah, you're a little rough, dude. You're a little rough, I gotta say.
All right. Hey, whatever. My bad. I guess I'm old school America.
He'll be all right. He's a big boy.
I don't know. He might be upset with me. I might not get an invite to Monday's show.
Probably not. I would say no. You're in the comic world. You listen to a lot of these guys. There was a couple comics that had been kind of canceled that just came back in the last couple weeks. Brian Callen. You familiar with Brian Callen from Fighter and the Kid? And well, that's his main podcast. He's always on Fighter and the Kid with Brendan Schaub. He got last year. It was almost a year. He was kind of gone. Some sexual allegations that he denied. But he still legitimately had to take well, he didn't have to, but he decided it'd be best to take a year off from his podcast because advertisers may not want to advertise on his podcast. And then Chris D'Elia is another one. You guys familiar with Chris D'Elia?
Yeah, I would say I haven't seen Callen on Broken in a while either.
No, dude.
Because he used to be a regular.
Yeah, he was one of the main boys there.
Yeah. And I heard also about that, what is it with gymnastics coaches and being disgusting, slimy people? That guy just killed himself because he was going to be brought up on charges of, molesting girls and all that.
I know what Remo's laughing at.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I recently heard about that. I mean, it's an old story. It's not a new story, but I recently paid more attention to it. The
Larry Nassar thing?
Yeah, there was, dude.
That's out of control, man. That's disgusting.
I was there and late at night. Sometimes we'll put something on, and I had heard somebody talk about it, and I was like, I don't even fucking want to watch this documentary, which supposedly is very well made. It's a Netflix
It
documentary.
is, yeah, yeah.
But like, I couldn't even fucking bring myself to watch it, dude. And then I remember watching those Olympics because my wife gets into that. That's one of the few sports that she gets into, and we watch, you know, the Olympics and stuff. I remember seeing all those girls competing.
All those girls.
Yeah, and then this other dude, he was, I guess, was he gonna be sentenced? The guy?
No, they were bringing the charges up against him, and supposedly he knew about that guy Larry Nasser and never, said anything about it.
Not new. He helped them in the
Yes,
whole, the whole sex trafficking scandal. He was supposedly getting charged as being an accomplice to all of that.
Man,
Facilitator.
If you're a dad of one of those girls, how do you not go and kill one of those motherfuckers, man? Jesus.
Dude, and supposedly, I didn't see the doc. I've heard people talk about it. Like, at times, he was doing this activity in front of parents and like right next to them or whatever.
Yes.
And nobody.
He's a doctor. People trust the title. I gotta tell you, I know what some medical exams look like, and some of those things they described, I would have been like, wait a minute, this is not a medical exam, So
not to get into too much detail, but he was had them naked and did stuff to them that was nowhere near what a normal examination would be.
I mean, the difference. You guys have either been to the doctor or been with somebody that's gone to the doctor. They never just rip all your clothes down and have you, stand around completely naked. And anything that they do to you, it's very tactical. Boom, boom. It's not like, okay, here we go, and you're there for 5 minutes. I mean, come on. Some of that too, I think, is on the parents, but. I mean, the whole thing is really just disgusting, man.
I wonder if there's a whole Michael Jackson thing to that. That would be sad if there is, where parents are doing things they know they shouldn't be doing because they're afraid that maybe they're not going to get their chance or some, I don't know. I don't know if it goes that far.
I think there's some factor to that too, where you completely give up your trust to these people that you think are trying to get your kid to the Olympics, and you just hand over your trust to these people wholeheartedly. I think that's a big problem too, right?
There's the whole Sandusky thing, which I'm not fucking well informed in, but that was a whole nother disaster, dude.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, that one with boys.
And for years, dude, and Paterno allegedly knew about it or kind of turned a blind eye to it. A guy who was revered, for all those years.
God, he had the God complex over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just shocking that shit could happen for so long under so many people's noses and
I guess my question is I guess I didn't see this documentary. I'm really into documentaries, so I'm going to check it out. But at the time, how old were these girls?
Oh, all those gymnasts, what? They're
13.
When they start, they're in their, between 7, 8, all the way to that. Remember, once a gymnast gets to 15, they're supposedly kind of over the hill. But yeah, it's actually when they're really small, right up to their teenage years.
My question is, I'm just new to parenthood. My son's only a year old. What parent is letting their kid go to any doctor room alone?
Exactly.
To me, I can't fathom that. There's probably 4 people in this world that I would trust to do that. That would be my wife, and my in-laws and my parents. Okay, you guys can take him in.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Dude,
that's one of my points. I don't want to fault the parents completely.
No, and I understand what you're saying in sports because you get caught up in that.
Yeah.
It's just, I guess,
But,
when the blinders are on, right?
I go to the vet. There's a vet that I go here, and they don't let me go in with my pets. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to go here no more. I want to, that's to the level that I take it. I want to go into the vet with my fucking dog. You know, when my dog goes to see the vet, oh no, he can't come in. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I'm out.
Wow,
dude.
I've never heard of that either.
Yeah, it's the first time I heard it, but I'm even to that. Like, I'm like, I don't feel comfortable with that either. It's my animal. It's my kind of like my kid. You know, like I want to go and see what's up, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not even like a sleep with my animals kind of person. You know, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's my dog, whatever. But still, like, you know, I'm bringing him here for something. I want to see what's up. What are you doing? What are we doing to him? What are we giving him? You know. So how it's for a child? Psst, no way, dude. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, this is a pretty interesting arc. UFOs, cancel culture, you know, USA gymnastic violations. We've pretty much covered a lot of ground there.
Yeah, I mean, we canceled a couple of people on the show already.
I'm just gonna say it again. I'm sorry I canceled Leah. That's how I'm gonna text him in the morning. Sorry I canceled you, bro.
I am legitimately concerned about.
I think two things. One, of course, he's probably like, screw you, 90, never let me talk. But two, he probably wanted, like, it was probably like his way to, like, you know what? I want to get off anyway, so I'm out.
Yeah. Nah, I'm beginning to think he does not enjoy some of these topics.
Oh, yeah, and we were probably kind of picking
0%.
We were picking on him all night, too, kind of. So I could, you know what? It might have led up, bro. We're the bullies.
I try not to, but, like, he backs me into that corner, dude.
Which is very easy to do with you.
Well,
remember, Chad was on that text. You're the Tom Brady. He may be the Mahomes of arguing, but you're the Tom Brady of arguing.
I'm not going to argue with you there.
That.
I won't argue
we established that already.
I think Tank is comatose over there.
No, Tank's taking it all in, bro.
I thought it was like a
cardboard cutout,
a wallpaper of just Tank.
He stopped his camera, and that's like.
I thought he was frozen for a second. What's up, Tank? What's up, dude?
Tank, do you know anything about?
Oh my God! What is that? That was that thing. The skunk ape.
The skunk
is that a chupacabra?
Yeah.
He was catching a skunk ape. Nice, dude. Let us examine that guy.
All right.
Wow, that looks like a bobcat.
What's his name?
Zora. It's a girl.
Oh, all right, Dora.
She does not look happy to be there.
Wow, but that looks like a kind of a big cat.
Nah, she's a baby.
Dude, that looks big, dude.
She looks angry, right?
I got 2 kittens recently. Brother and sister.
Wow. That's a nice cat.
The kids love the fucking cats, dude.
Cats are so independent. They don't care about anybody.
Nah. We're living in their world.
Yeah. And if they were only a little bigger, man, they'd just freaking kill us, man. Just kill us. Dogs would never do that, but a cat, man.
It's a small lion, right? It's basically like a small puma.
Yeah.
That's the theory on how Sasquatch started. Is like when we were, of cavemen, we would get attacked by, bigger lions in the dark. So that's why it started, this whole thing of like darkness and these monsters that would come and take you and eat you, like started. Like some people believe it started because cats were doing that way back in the day, them bigger ones.
Even dogs too, like what the bum was saying, like back in the day they were basically wolves, right? That we just kind of brought in. Yeah, and I look at my fucking dog, dude. I don't know where the fuck he is right now. But dude, my dog, if you look at him, dude, you're like, he'll fuck me up, dude, if he wants to, real fucking easy. But I'm like, get inside, go outside. And he's like, okay. But I'm like, if this guy one day says, what if I don't want to go inside, bro? What if I don't want to go outside? They have the capability to fucking fuck you up.
Cool thing about cats, though, they domesticated themselves. They realized we would start, like, think about it. A cat, like, yo, you're gonna feed me and give me a place to stay and I can be safe, cool. I ain't got to go nowhere. Like, we had to train dogs to do that. Cats learned, like, yo, all right, you're our friend.
Smarter.
That's fucking crazy.
Who was it that first had cats as like
I
house
think,
pets?
yeah, I was going to say the Egyptians.
Egyptians.
Yeah, there's a lot of Egyptian cat pictures and shit like
I
that.
think they revere them pretty well, like pretty sacred kind of animals for them.
Yeah. I gave you a cat once, bum.
Unfortunately, you did go, and that didn't turn out well.
Sorry to
Dude,
hear about that.
I
was,
gave this guy a cat, dude, and
For my kids.
for his kids, a cat that was born in my house of my cat, kind of member of the family to me, and I bring this cat to their house, and they wouldn't allow the cat inside the house. I think it was like, okay, he's gonna be living in the backyard. The next thing I know, the very next day, this cat's trying to find its way in the backyard. Okay, where can I hide? Where am I eating? Where do I live? The guy comes to cut the grass the very next day. So, all the noises that go along with somebody cutting your lawn and all this. And the cat dipped, dude.
Well, actually, you missed something. Like the first night that it was there was a massive like thunderstorm. The next day, instead of the cat being able to recover, the lawn people came.
Okay about it.
So it was the double whammy with the poor cat, man. And like it hauled ass, and then it actually ended up like in a house a couple of streets down, and we would see the cat, but it didn't want anything to do with us.
That is a conspiracy theory. They send me like a CGI generated picture of the cat. Oh, look, he's safe. Don't worry, man. He's happier now, but I don't buy it, dude. I don't buy the cat story.
May have been shot from the Texas Book Repository.
From the freshly cut grassy knoll.
Yes.
Yeah. Poor fucking cat. All right, guys. Have we covered everything we want to cover?
I don't know. We've covered things that I don't think were on the agenda, but that's fine.
Yep. I hope no one goes back and watches this episode and cancels me later.
It's all on the record. It will stay there forever in cyberspace. You know what you should do, Chad? If you want to be a good friend,
What should I do?
you should convince Hialeah to come over here tomorrow night to watch the fights.
Okay. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'll try.
Yeah,
All right.
and you come too, and then I'll go.
All
Yeah.
right. I mean, I work until 7, but I have to convince my wife to let me drive down there with Hialeah. So,
Well, I mean, you could come anyways if he doesn't come.
Where do you
The,
live, 90?
I live in Weston.
Okay. Oh, so you're close to me. I'm in Davie.
Oh, yeah. Right up the street.
Yeah.
Right up the street.
Yeah, right there, dude.
I could come bring my bass over and we can jam.
There you go. I'm ready to go.
I hear
I
you.
have a
You catch
guitar.
bass and you play the bass?
Yeah, I play bass and I catch bass, boy. That's all I do, baby.
I wanted to ask you about this catch and release phenomenon.
Okay.
Immigration?
What is the story? What is the story?
Canceled.
Canceled. What's the story of catch and release for me?
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, as far as if it was saltwater and depending on the fish, I would catch and cook, but I'm not catching a bass. And I mean, as far as the quality of meat a bass would be, it's not to what I guess I would eat.
I fish
mean-
more for sport too.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess you could say too. I mean, if I had nothing else, of course, if it came down to it, damn right, let's go. We're cutting this fish up and we eating. But I don't know, bass. As far as like the taste, it's very fishy, like very fishy.
So you have eaten them before. You just like
Yeah, I've had bass before. Yeah.
So you have a couple free hours. You're like, let me just go catch some.
Couple free hours. I wish a couple free hours. More like I got like an hour tops, 20 minutes, 45 minutes. I live on a canal, so anytime that like
In your
like
backyard?
yeah.
Okay, so when you get a couple 30 minutes, you go back there and you're like, let me just go hook these animals and then throw them back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
But-
sport. It's
Yeah, they'll go. That's that whole, when you're a hunter or a fisherman, you have that whole conservationist mentality. Like if you're a real hunter or fisherman, right? You're always like, oh, I'm not gonna kill that because it's not the right size. I'm gonna throw that back in because it's not the right.
Yeah, exactly. To his point, even if there was a fish that I would have catched that I would eat, it would have to be a certain size because you wanted to get to a certain
Right.
size. And also, too, it helps the population grow because they start mating once they get to a certain size. So, yeah, I mean, there's that whole conservation aspect. Now, if I were to hunt, I would be hunting to eat, but I don't really hunt. I do more fishing.
Are you a catch and release too, Tank, when you go?
Yeah, freshwater for sure, 100%.
Freshwater.
Because it's just not good?
Yeah, the quality. I mean, the quality of meat. Like, all right, they would say the top freshwater fish to eat would probably be like a walleye.
Walleye, yeah.
And we don't have walleye down here. The only other food this sounds crazy, Tank, and you can look this up, and I didn't believe it until my cousin told me to look it up. But the CDC, as far as fresh meat, it's rated 10 is snakeheads.
Snakeheads are nice fighting fish.
Fish. Oh, and they're invasive. You're supposed to kill them. You're not
Hell
supposed
yeah.
So what does that mean? That it's a quality meat?
Yeah, well, as far as the ranking of the meat system, yeah. So like a snakehead, if you look at a snakehead, it looks ugly. It lives in these canals and
That's a
lakes.
hard ass fucking head.
Oh yeah, but the meat, because all they do is eat like literally like just like frogs and lizards and just like pure meat. Their meat is just white. It's just like they say it's like the flakiest fish. I've never eaten it, but supposedly it's really, really good. So, but the fight is crazy on him. My cousin used to fight him and kill him, but he stopped because he liked the fight more on those than the bass. So then he was like, "Bro, I want this guy to get big so I can catch it bigger." So
And they're hard to catch too.
oh, I know they are. There's like a nest right in front of my spot where I see like it's like a mom and a baby one. They come out. I would recommend frogs, the soft plastic frogs, black and red. Is rivet, black and
Like
red rivets.
top waters.
Yeah, top water. I mean, you can do the hollow body frogs, but I would they make soft plastic frogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would tell you the black and red rivets is what you could catch them on, but you can even get them on the hollow bodies.
Hey, Chad, off topic. What's the jersey over your left shoulder? Obviously, it's a soccer jersey, but
This is Palermo.
no, other shoulder.
Oh, this
Sorry.
one?
Yeah.
This is Arsenal. This is my
Okay.
favorite. This is my favorite soccer team.
And the other one is Italian league?
Yeah, I think they're in Serie B right now. They've been down for a little bit. So, and you know what's funny? I had this way before they had this colors for the Miami FC. I just found that funny.
What is up with the Miami FC?
Bro, we're going to be a team to tear with next year, bro. Got some nice players coming in. So
You guys
And
are
they're-
still associated with that bum?
Yeah, the owners of my company, that's their soccer team. Absolutely.
Do they have fans in attendance?
I'm sorry?
Do they have
What-
fans in attendance?
not right now, no.
No, I don't think so. They're playing at a Lockhart, like a reconditioned Lockhart.
Which
But
nice.
the 7th and 8th floor of the building I work with is the whole soccer division of my company. Yeah.
So, the whole management and everything is there.
Yes.
Do you ever see like
And-
the dudes coming in?
I've seen Beckham a couple times.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's
Is
kind
he
of
a
Especially
cute?
early on, not so much now.
super cute.
I'll tell you, that guy, man, it's like you look at the women and even men, like they're all looking at him.
It's like Austin Powers.
Yes,
Women want him. Men want to be him.
he is like a pretty boy. There's no doubt about that.
Good old Beckham.
Yep.
All right, boys. I think we've covered. Oh, you know what? I wanted to ask one thing before we go. And maybe I do a whole episode about this one day. Is there any quotes you guys really like? Famous quotes?
Yeah, I could do a few. My favorite one is "Failure's the greatest teacher," and Yoda said it. And the one movie that everyone hates.
I don't remember that, but that's a good quote.
He said it in what is it, Last Jedi?
Okay.
He says that's when he hits Luke over the head. Luke's like, "Oh, but the Jedi trees, it's all burning, blah 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 blah, and we failed." And he hits him over the head. He's like, "Failure is the greatest teacher." To me,
It absolutely is, though. Like,
Yep.
You should welcome failure. That shouldn't. I mean, if you're always doing the right thing, it's probably too easy, or you're not challenging yourself enough. You got any more?
That's my one.
Bum, you're a well-traveled man. He's gonna give me a Yogi Berra.
Life is like a garden. Life is like a garden. Perfect moments could be had, but never preserved, only in memory.
Isn't that true?
Yes. I think Spock said that too.
Oh, okay. Star
Yeah.
Trek, Star Wars.
Oh, I got another one that I live by.
All right.
If you ain't first, you're last. Ricky Bobby.
Hell yeah. And he likes the baby version of Jesus best.
All 6 pounds and 9 ounces in his golden fleece diaper.
I have one. I think I invented this one, or if somebody else said it before, they can take credit. The thing about the good old days is you never really know when you're living them.
That sounds Yogi Bearish.
Maybe, but I do like it. And I do like Yogi Berra's quote. He has great quotes.
Nobody goes there anymore. It's too crowded.
Yeah, that's one. 90% of the game is half mental. Is that one of his?
Cheers.
something like that.
So, yeah.
Anytime you say 90.
Hell yeah. Tank, you got any favorite quotes?
Well, maybe it is dumb, but it's also stupid.
Who said
Patrick
that one?
Starr. Patrick Starr.
I thought it was good. I heard that one for sure from the old boy Pat and SpongeBob.
I think Bruce Lee had some good ones too, but I can't remember any off the top of my head right now.
Form like water. That's like
Flow like water.
yeah.
Be like water, right?
Yeah,
Sing
yeah.
like bee.
No, be like water. The cup doesn't form to water. The water forms to the cup. Yeah, that whole thing. So be like water. That's a good
Something
one.
like that. All right. I guess on that note, we'll get the fuck out of here, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Last quote was.
Go ahead. Give us the last quote.
Last quote, I would say, I'm just going to quote my pops. Don't be silly, wrap your willy. Thank you, guys.